All right, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Checking the mic. 1 2. You should be able to hear me out there. Thank you, Frank. So hot. Everything is chirping. The heat is relentless. It's like gold. All right, let me see if I can get everything working this morning. Get the mic working, get the recording working. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus NFP Market Opens. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right, you should be able to hear me. Let me just check my mic volume. Should be good. So right now,
Secured overnight financing
everything
rate
seems to be working.
3.66% July
All right.
1st versus 3.68% June 30th.
So we have a challenging morning. Every day is a challenge, but we're in a holiday week. So reports that don't usually trade together are trading together. Definitely makes for extra risk because of that. We've got Thursday unemployment trading with the non-farm payrolls. Now, I do believe non-farm payrolls is what everybody's looking at. The unemployment numbers, while they are important, they're not going to move the market the way that the jobs report does, unless there's an anomaly. If for some reason there should be an anomaly in those unemployment numbers, then you could get an unusual move. I don't really anticipate that, so we're going to trade this as if we were trading the non-farm payroll report. That's really the report that's going to move the market. So we have a daily trade report. We have a DMM. Hey, Charles, good morning. So let me just take a look. Let's look at the DMM. And you have to decide what you want to do on this report this morning. So all of our testing, there's no question um, that the euro has been the best trade for the U.S. jobs report. Even when there's been a lot of whipsaws, the euro has traded better than most any other instrument. So the euro is the recommended setup. Does that mean it's going to work today? There's no guarantees, obviously, but I will trade the euro as my main setup. Now, the interesting thing for me is I love trading gold on a lot of reports. So I do recognize, of course, that if you look at gold and the way it's been trading, it hasn't been trading all that well on this report. We've only got 3 of the last 5 have been losers. You had 2 winners, 3 out of 5 losers, 50-50 over the past 6. But here's what's interesting. If you just look at probabilities, we've had 2 losers in a row. We are due for a winning gold trade on this report. We're due. The problem is, the elephant in the room is unemployment. The unemployment report. It's the elephant
Trump
in the
just
room.
posting on Truth Social that the US spends more money on NATO than any other country by far.
All right. So it
And then goes on
everything
to
has
list the
extra risk
disparages
today.
between the countries that pay towards NATO.
Also, Trump
Says
seems
the
to be
US puts
posting on
toward
Truth Social,
$999 billion,
so it's just
UK
not
just
possible
90.5,
for that guy to
France
keep his mouth
66,
shut.
Italy
It
48.8
just
billion,
doesn't seem possible. So you just have to be aware
Poland
when he
44,
is
etc. He goes on
tweeting
to list the disparages and the
on Truth
prices.
Social. He's tweeting. So we'll have to try to be aware of that. How do I know? Because Financial Juice. That's the way you know. So if you're trading the news, you might want to subscribe to Financial Juice. You could trade micros, Al. Definitely. You could trade micros. Um, definitely. Here's the thing about this report. Every instrument, there is not a good micro for the euro, though. I would not trade a micro euro. You could trade micro gold, definitely. The big issue with gold is you've got 100 tick stop. That's $1,000 per contract. If you trade 2 contracts in 1 second, you could blow up your prop account. I would probably not recommend gold in cash accounts for this report. It's just been too inconsistent. That's the problem. Now, look, we have a euro setup and we have an ES setup. The ES setup did not fill last month. Let me triple check that. No, you know what? It was a whipsaw,
Mid
just like
Daily says
everything
AI
was a
investment
whipsaw
shock
last
has
month,
people wondering if it will be
except the euro.
inflationary.
Um, the month before, the ES did not fill, and in April we had a beautiful, nice winter on the ES. It's not, it's not the most incredible setup, but it's got a big bracket, which most instruments will. It's necessary to use pretty big brackets on this event. The euro, no, because it just doesn't have that crazy out of control movement usually. So let me set up the euro. I'm going to trade the euro in one of my funded accounts. I've
Mid
already
Daily
set
answered
up a
if central
reverse
banks act too
continue and a
quickly, it
magnet
could
on the
prematurely
euro
bridle things. If
just
you
to
act too
watch.
slowly, it could be unwelcome for
The
citizens.
main setup is the breakout 6E space 0926. So here's what I've done on my euro chart. I have a reverse continuation for after the news. For after the news. If anything, if an opportunity presents itself. I'm not a big euro scalper, let's be honest. We don't trade the euro enough that I'm going to scalp it. So I doubt if I'll take a second trade, but I will always put the opportunity on the chart. So I've got a reverse continue on the euro, target of 25, stop of 25, label it 6E reverse continue, choose the account you're trading it in, and apply it. Then I put a magnet on. So I have a magnet for the euro so I can watch signals. All right. I'm using a 40 tick stop. Everything else is pretty much default. Enabled is off. I don't want to see any orders yet. Okay, on the magnet. So I'm really just using the magnet right now to look at signals. I have it labeled 6E magnet. Choose the account you're trading in, and I'm using the default filtering. I'm not upping the filtering on the euro. I just feel like the euro is not enough volume that I need to do extra filtering right now. So just very simple magnet and reverse continue, but the main setup for the euro is the breakout. So right click the chart, click strategy, double click news trader. Trade type is a breakout trade. Activate 829.58. 829.58. The bracket is 15. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. I'm just trading 2 contracts. Charles on YouTube is asking, what do they charge? Charles, the pro version, the way to do it is lifetime or yearly. It's about 46 a month, 46 a month yearly, I believe. Lifetime, I think, is 1,000. It's well worth it if you trade the news and you're going to continue trading the news. So 829.58 on the euro, and I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. We don't get paid. Bracket of 15. We tried to work with them. It didn't work out, but I still love the product. I don't, sometimes business doesn't work out, but the product's great. And the people are fine. It's just our business relationship didn't work. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 stop move will go to BE for break even, and my stop is 30 on the euro, 30 on the euro. Putting the time on 0 for a moment. We're going to look at our bracket. All right, we're going to label it 6E BRK for a breakout, 6E BRK. Leave it on sim for a moment. Under optional, show vertical line on entry is unchecked. All right. And put the charts on sim. When you turn on a sim trade with time set to 0, it'll trigger the bracket
Order submitted.
as soon as there's price movement. It has to have price movement to calculate the bracket. So I don't want to trade all scrunched up. That's why I do this. I want to trade like that. That's why I test my bracket.
Order canceled.
Just because I don't always know that my charts are set up the way I want them in terms of their width. All right. So now I go back to the breakout, put the time to the correct trading time, 829.58. Everything I just said a moment ago is the setup, and then put the account on the funded account I'm trading on. Apply it. I'm tempted to just add one contract to target 1. All right, it's only $6 a tick on the euro. And then we'll apply it, and you could save the template. So I have a setup. How do I save a template? Before you exit, by apply and OK, hit apply, and then go to template, then go to save. And I'm going to save this template. Just start typing NFP 6E and today's date. And now I have a template. Click save. Now, when you come back next month and you want to look at your euro setup, you just load the template and it's dated. Every template, date every template. Now, I don't make you do everything I tell you, and I tell you, don't do everything I do. But there are some things that I insist, if I tell you to do it, you should do it. Date all your templates, label all your setups. You must do that. You must. If you don't, you will regret it because you'll forget what you've done. You won't be organized. And trust me, you want to do it. Now, I'm willing to blow up my prop account trading gold because I'm willing to take the probability. We've had 2 gold losers in a row on this report. I'm willing to trade the probability that we're going to get a good gold move, and I'm going to take advantage of it, but I'm still going to trade carefully. I'm going to use a 1 contract trade because I might not blow up the account if I lose a 1 contract trade. If I lose a 2 contract trade, it's almost guaranteed the account will blow up. Okay? So, it is a 100 tick stop. I have a gold breakout. Let me just set up my, I have a gold breakout on the chart and I have a gold magnet. So on the breakout, it's just 1 position. I'm sorry, I'm calling it a breakout. Reverse continue. I have a gold reverse continue. One position, one contract, a target of 65, a stop of 40. Label it GC reverse continue. Choose the account you're trading in. Gold, I'm trading in my eval. All right. If I have a winning trade, it will pass the eval. Honestly, I don't need another funded account right now. I have too many. I'm going to have to start using a trade copier. And I have a magnet, gold magnet, pretty much default. Orders are off. So the magnet trade enabled is off. That doesn't mean the magnet trade is off. It means the orders for the high of day, low of day setup are not going to show up on the chart. Okay? Everything else is on. And if you want to put them back on, you just click to high of day, low of day. And you can do that on the control panel. All right. One position, one contract. Default -3 on the target. Stop of 40. That's all. I'm not programming anything else in the magnet because I have a reverse continue. It's labeled GC magnet and I'm trading it in the same account as my reverse continue. Remember, we say this over and over. Every setup on the chart does not mean you're taking the trade with that setup. It means you are leaving yourself open to the possibility of an opportunity. The trade we're taking is the breakout, the economic news trade based on our daily market mover report. Now, like I said, gold has a 100 tick stop. That's a huge stop. It's probably the biggest stop of any trade we have. It's $1,000. That's the risk. That's what our testing has told us you need if you're going to trade gold in the most safe way possible for this report. Right click the chart, click strategy, click news trader. We're going to put a breakout trade on. That's the default. 829.59. Now 820 is the gold open. I do not trade the gold open before the jobs report, but I would like to look at it. So let's get this set up. 829.59, our bracket is 35. One contract we said we're trading. So we're going to use a 90 tick target, a 100 tick stop, and here's the catch. Right at the bottom here, if the market moves X ticks,
Daily says in the
move
US
the
there's
stop to
exceedingly strong investment
BEX
growth.
ticks. So when you trade one contract, if we get a move in our direction of 40 ticks, I'm going to move the stop to plus 30. So with the bracket and 40 ticks, we need a 75 tick move out of gold. We've seen 400 tick moves, 700 tick moves, 200 tick moves. So we should be fine with that setup. And the bracket, I will put the time on 0, label it GCBRK, right? GCBRK.
Feds Daily says, I don't see any signs of a lack of economic resiliency
Sim
despite above
right
target
now,
inflation.
we're going to just test our bracket just like we did with the euro.
Order submitted.
All right, there's our bracket. I am going to get rid of that vertical line. Highlight the breakout, go to
Feds Daily
optional,
says the labor market is stabilized.
remove show vertical line on entry. Show vertical line on entry. Uncheck it. Our brackets are good. Put the account on the correct account to trade. Put the time back to 829.59. Bracket of 35. One position, 90 tick target, 100 tick stop. If the market moves 40
Feds
ticks
Daily
in our
says inflation
favor,
has
move
risen
the
on
stop to
tariffs and the
BE
oil price shock.
30.
Oil prices have come down and we hope
All
for
right.
relief.
That's my setup. It's labeled GCBRK. I'm in the right account. My time is
Daily says
correct. I'm
US
on a
monetary
breakout.
policy is
Apply it.
slightly restrictive
Again, you
and
can
says that
save
should
the
help inflation come
template
down.
should you want to.
And says a resilient consumer is a good sign for the US economy.
NFP,
So seeing S&P
GC,
futures
one
up around spot
contract
1% now,
today's
Dow
date.
futures up spot 1, Nasdaq futures though up
And
spot
let's
2%.
watch gold. Let's watch the gold open just for a minute.
As
Now,
Daily says, there is a
the
scenario where the
third
Fed has to
setup,
fight inflation.
I'm only trading and watching 2 today. There is an ES setup. It's a breakout.
And
35
Daily says there's
ticks.
also a scenario where growth doesn't continue.
35 ticks on the bracket. All right, just watching the gold open. It takes place in 50 seconds. So
As
there
Daily
is a
says,
moderate
I can't
amount
decide
of
right now and
news
can't give false
elements
guidance on
that
rates.
make up the jobs report. You've got the non-farm payrolls, which is super important. They're expecting 114. I'm expecting a good report because Besant already said a couple of days ago the jobs report was going to be good. He then said, but I haven't seen the numbers yet. So I do expect, here comes the gold open. Just curious what kind of move it gives. Right this second, gold just opened.
So we're now 10 minutes away from the bottom of the hour, where we see the release
Pushing
of the
up a
US
little bit
employment
off the
situation for the
VWAP.
month of June. Headline
Pushing
release
up
for
off
week
the VWAP.
non-farm payrolls. Forecast 113K.
Remember, we would have
on the
about
prior
a 25 tick
172K, with a range of
bracket
200
on
to
the gold
25K
open.
expected. The unemployment rate forecast to remain
Looks like it
unchanged
moved
at
about
4.3%.
34
The
ticks
range sees 4.4%
so far.
to 4.2%.
34
Average
ticks.
earnings year over year forecast 3.5% from the prior 3.4%, with a
Now,
range of
if you want to
3.6 to
trade,
3.4%
it looks like the gold
expected.
open might have been
Month over
good
month,
this morning.
forecast
The
0.3%,
gold open
expected to
has
remain
been
unchanged.
very
Average
inconsistent.
workweek hours forecast
Very
34.3,
inconsistent.
unchanged from the prior. Private
So
payrolls forecast 107K on the prior
we are going to stick
120K.
around.
Manufacturing payrolls
After
forecast
all
3K
of our
on the prior
trading,
7K,
we'll have a
and
short
government payrolls for a
presentation.
prior read of
We'll do a
52K.
recap of the week.
Labour force
I'm going to make
participation
a
expected to
very
remain
nice
unchanged at
offer if you'd like to join,
61.8%. We also get the weekly jobless claims
become a
numbers.
member, or
Initial
if you want
claims
to
forecast at
change
218K on the
monthly
prior
to
215K,
another
and continued claims
methodology of
forecast at
paying,
1.82 million
you might want
on
to
the prior
stick around.
1.821 million.
But I'm not
So
doing a
looking at some
very
commentary
long,
ahead of the non-farm
drawn out
payrolls report then, Credit
sale. I
Agricole
just
in their
want to
notes
tell
say
you
that
that.
the
We're
labour
going to
market appears
review
to have improved from last autumn,
everything that
but
happened,
that trend is expected to continue into
answer
June, even
questions,
if payrolls growth slows to around
and then it's
105K
going to
from
be a
172K
couple of days
last month.
off,
Credit
a
Agricole
rare
note
couple
that
of
would
days
still be
off.
seen as a solid
So we
pace
do
in the
have an
current environment,
ES
with the
set
unemployment
up,
rate
like I
expected to hold
said.
at 4.3% and average
Yeah,
earnings seen rising
naturally the
0.2%
gold
on the month,
open was
leaving
good
the year-over-year pace steady at
because we didn't trade it
3.4%.
today. It's had a
As Credit
couple of
Agricole
good
also notes
opens
that for the
this
Fed,
week,
the concern about the employment side of the
better
mandate
than
has
usual.
clearly
You could
faded,
trade
with
it
the
with
reaction function
micros,
remains
and
asymmetric.
then if all of a
Weaker jobs
sudden you
data could
see that
still
it's
push
trading
the
really
Fed
well,
toward
you can
cuts,
then
but
move over
stronger
to
jobs
full
data does not
size.
automatically mean
You could
hikes.
try,
Instead, a
experiment
firmer
with a
labour
smaller
market would
bracket,
mainly shift
see if
attention
that
back
might
toward
help. There's,
inflation.
you know, there's things you can do to change a mediocre event into a better event, but you have to be able to get away with it. If you just shrink your bracket and it never works, then it's not a good solution, obviously. You know, we test bracket size. Generally, we know well in advance what the best bracket size is because we create our spike sheets, right? We create a spike sheet. What's a spike sheet? Look, NFP with the ES, we have a spike sheet. And you could see that there was a whipsaw last month. There was no fill in May. It spiked 75 ticks in April, 100 ticks in March, 45 ticks in February, Only 10 ticks in January. Was January an anomaly? You have to think so. But the ES, it hasn't been phenomenal on this trade, but it had two good ones prior to two that weren't so good. You had a no fill and a loss. So the ES is not a phenomenal setup on this report. Yes, the gold open could be a trap also. Absolutely. Absolutely. Might be the better setup. Might be the better setup. All right, so if you're interested in the ES, it's a bracket of 35. We activate at 829.58, a target of 15, not big targets, a target of 25, and a stop of 25. And I would use a BE, a break even, on target one stop move. But we are going to concentrate on the euro breakout and a gold breakout. On the gold breakout, trading one contract, it's a 100 tick stop, triggering at 829.59 with a 35 bracket, one position, one contract, 90 on the target, 100 on the stop. If the market moves X ticks right over here, scroll down a little bit on your trade setup. If the market moves 40 ticks in my favor, right above that, move the stop to BEX ticks, break even plus 30. So I have a 30 in there. If the market goes in our
We're
direction
now 5 minutes away from the bottom of the hour, where
and
we see the release
changes
of the US
direction,
employment situation
we're trying
report
to
for the month
protect
of
30
June.
ticks.
Non-farm payrolls forecast
It's
113K
$300.
on the prior
It's not a bad winning
172K,
trade.
with a range of
I'd
200K to
happily take
25K
300
expected.
bucks on any
The
trade.
unemployment rate
Nothing
expected
wrong
to
with that.
remain unchanged at
And then on our
4.3%.
euro
The range sees
breakout,
4.4 to 4.2%.
the
Average
euro
earnings year over
breakout
year
has been
forecast
a nice setup.
3.5% from the prior 3.4, with a range of 3.6 to 3.4%. Month over month forecast to remain unchanged at 0.3%.
And the euro
Average work
setup,
week
let me
hours
just
forecast to remain
fix
unchanged at 34.3, and private payrolls forecast
the
107K
euro
on the prior
setup.
120K.
Like
Manufacturing
I said,
payrolls
it's a
forecast
breakout.
3K on the prior 7K, and government payrolls saw a prior of 52K.
829.58
Labour force
on the
participation is
trigger.
expected to remain unchanged at
On the trigger.
61.8%. We also see the
Bracket
release
of
of the weekly
15.
jobless claims numbers. Initial claims forecast at
Whoa, I never put my
218K on the prior
targets in. It's a good
215,
thing I
with a
checked
range
what
of
I'm doing here.
230 to
Target
215K
of
expected,
15,
and continued claims forecast 1.82
and our
million on the
target
prior
is
1.821 million.
25,
Now,
I
again, ahead of
believe,
the
on our
non-farm
second
payrolls, we have a
target.
note from Societe Generale. They say that regional Fed business surveys point to a
That
strong
would have been a
payrolls growth for
disaster.
June,
Stop
while
of
jobless
30.
claims suggest that the unemployment
Stop
rate
of
likely
30.
stayed unchanged.
And
They say that if
target
that is
one stop
confirmed,
move
it would
is
strengthen the
BE.
view that the labour market has
That's
stabilised
our
and may
setup.
soon begin to show a more visible
That's
improvement
our
in the
setup.
unemployment trend. The Societe Generale add that that matters because the Fed is now
Apply
more
it.
focused on the
Okay it.
inflation
Turn
side of
it
its
back
mandate.
on. And now we're ready. So gold
They add that the key
compared to the
question now is
ES.
whether this jobs
The
data
spike
simply
sheet on
confirms
gold
the labour
is
market
gold has been
stabilisation, leaving the Fed free to stay
50-50,
focused on inflation,
Arthur,
or whether it shows enough
and
renewed strength to add
extremely
even more to the inflation
inconsistent.
concern.
Inconsistent. When you look at the spike sheet on gold, 60 ticks last month, whipsaw. We had a whipsaw also. 25 ticks in April, that was really an anomaly. 330 ticks, 640 ticks 1 month, 30 and 70, 150, 140. It's all over the place. Gold is all over the place. So I probably should just trade the euro today because we don't want to have a losing trade because we're doing this presentation, right? But looking at the probabilities, it is possible that gold is due for a good move. We'll give it a shot. The ES bracket is 35. It's big. It's big. If you're going to trade NQ, it's a little bit late now, but we have an 80 bracket. We have traded the NQ, the MNQ with an 80 bracket. So the reality is this is a it's a risky trade. It's extra risky today because of unemployment being an extra report. Whatever happens, we're sticking around after the news. We'll stick around through natural gas. In retrospect, we should have forgotten about natural gas for today. We could have just done our
1 minute
presentation
remaining. I'll lead with US non-farm
at
payrolls.
10 o'clock after the market opened. But I actually like trading natural gas. So the euro is on the left. Gold is on the right. Sometimes gold is so volatile before the news. I'm a little bit aggravated with the clock. All right. Euro
10
on the
seconds.
left. Brackets will show up. Couple of seconds. Here come the brackets.
Order failed.
Okay, gold.
57k,
Order
57k, lower than
Order
forecast.
I tried to expand
113K.
my euro.
Unemployment rate, though,
Gold.
2%.
This is fascinating,
lower than
folks.
forecast, 4
Very
3%.
fascinating.
Average earnings
Hang
year-over-year,
loose,
3.5%
everybody. Hang
as
loose.
expected. Private payrolls,
A very
49K,
nice response to the
49K,
news.
lower than forecast,
Gold,
107k.
the setup worked
Average work week
perfectly.
hours,
We
as
did
expected,
not
34.3,
not
and average
get
earnings month over month
very
as
much
expected,
profit.
at
We're going to look at the
0.3%.
video. I'll explain
Manufacturing
why. But the
payrolls
euro,
as expected at 3k.
as
Labor
I
force
had said,
participation at
the euro was the
61.5,
safest setup.
61.5%,
It was
which is lower than
perfect.
forecast, 61.8%. Government payrolls at 8k.
I'm just
8k.
watching.
So
I'm
looking to the
taking it
markets, we're seeing some
easy.
weakness in the dollar here,
Non-farm
strength in the
payrolls,
S&P
a
500,
terrible
weakness in government
report.
bond yields as well.
But the
Gold
initial
seeing
job
movement toward the
claims,
upside as well. So again,
lower
we saw
than
the unemployment
expected,
rate
but
here
not by
tick down
that
to
much.
4.2%
I'd say
on
this jobs
expectations of
report
4.3,
looks lousy.
and non-farm payrolls lower than expected
Looks
at
lousy.
57k.
Much
Also
lower than
noting prior
expected.
revisions here.
Much lower
Non-farm
than
payrolls
expected.
was revised down to
Looking
129k
at the
from
ES without,
172k.
first
Private
off,
payrolls revised
turning
down to
off the
97k
gold
from
breakout.
120k.
Turning it off.
Manufacturing
Turning off
payrolls
the euro
revised down to
breakout.
minus 2k
Removing
from
them both.
7k. Also saw the
Removing
weekly
them
jobless
both.
claims numbers. Initial claims 215k,
This was nuts.
215k, which is lower than forecast.
Gold,
218k,
we made
with continued
60
claims
bucks,
at
6 ticks.
1.814 million, 1.814
It
million,
reversed
which is lower than forecast.
after it
1.82 million. So again,
got
a miss on the
through.
non-farm payrolls numbers, but a beat on the unemployment rate.
We'll take a look. It probably
Again,
just
that's dollar
reversed so
weakness,
fast it
S&P
couldn't protect
500
very
strength,
much of the
bond
profit.
yield weakness, and gold strength.
The euro went straight up, hit all of our
Also, the
targets.
German
Was a
two-year
perfect
yield
trade.
last flat at around
Perfect trade.
2.52%. The German 10-year
Let's take
at
a look
2.962%.
at some other instruments. Give me a second. Hang on, just getting notes from
Traders of
everybody all
short-term
over the
interest rate
place.
futures trim their rate hike bets following the weaker than expected jobs data.
Hang on. We are in the room. Okay. So people are checking in now. TJ made 40 on gold, 218 on the euro. Nitin, 330 on the euro. Nitin traded silver for a nice profit. TJ, 450 on gold. Frank, euro, 10 times 2 contracts. Very nice. Roz, 187 on the euro on Bull and Ox. Paul, look, everyone that traded the euro made money. Everybody that traded the euro made money. Sal
We
traded
have
gold
posted the employment
micros.
situation
Now,
report for
I
June
couldn't
2026 on the feed for
manage
those interested.
both trades at the same time. I could not manage both trades at the same time. It was too fast. The gold trade was pretty much over before I even looked over at gold. I was watching the euro because that's in my funded account. It was more important. So I did not manage. I possibly could have managed the gold report for a better profit instead of letting it turn around on me and change direction. You don't, obviously, if you're a regular trader, you're not going to trade all the setups I'm trading. I'm doing it because I'm here teaching and showing you all the setups we're doing. Let's take a look at the ES and a couple of other charts before we go to the videotape. Give me a second.
Traders
What the
fully price in a
heck
Fed rate
happened
hike by
to my
December. They previously
RTY
saw
chart?
October, so
It
they have pushed
just
back their rate
literally
hike bets from the Fed.
disappeared. All right. So looking at the ES, did anybody trade the ES setup? Looking at the ES setup, on a 1 minute chart, now it looks like the ES burst up pretty significantly on the news. You cannot tell on a 1 minute chart whether that would be a phenomenal profit. Yeah, because you can't tell how fast it was without, maybe doing a replay or looking at much lower time frame charts. Gold moved 600 ticks. So we're going to take a look at the video and see why we didn't get our profit. It probably also did some pulling back. So the ES looks to the naked eye like it could have been a viable long. Let's look at the NQ.
Canadian dollar strengthening spot
Probably
3%
the
against the
same.
US
All
dollar
the
following the US jobs
instruments
data.
have the same breakout. Looks like it was a breakout for everything. I'll bet if you look at the British pound, it's going to look the same. Look at that. Exactly the same. If you look at the yen, every instrument virtually had a breakout. Okay? Virtually every instrument had a breakout. The yen had a breakout, a little bit more wick in the yen. So I'm not sure. No one traded the ES seriously, though. It looks like everybody's stuck with our two setups that we used. That's fine. Let me start getting set up for the open. So the real question is, the markets are up, and it does look like the job news was lousy. Maybe the market likes it because it will have an effect on whether there are rate changes. So there's lots of different things that the news can affect, and lots of different reactions that you can expect because of that. It's not always expected to get the
Fed's data
reaction
says housing
we
inflation has
expect.
been coming down in the US.
Let me try and say that in English. We don't always get the expected reaction from the news. Sometimes you have to look a little bit more deeply into what the news was, and there are other elements that will affect why the news pushes the market in a certain direction. Yeah, Arthur, I would have thought it looks to me like the ES was a move in one direction to the upside. That's what it looks like. All right, I'm done looking at Euro charts. That's the extent. Glad we didn't take any pullbacks on the Euro at the moment. All right, so let's look at the video real quick just to see what happened with gold, and then we'll create a new video for the market open. So bear with me. So that's called NFP, today's date. Now, I don't mind that I only made $60 on my eval account because, like I said, I don't want to pass another eval until I figure out how I'm going to deal with all these funded accounts. It's I'm not bragging. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Plus NFP market opens. So here we're going to watch gold and see how it responded to our one contract trade. The concept with our gold trade was if the market moved the bracket plus 40 ticks, our stop would go to break even, plus 30. That was our setup. So the market had to move the bracket, 35 ticks, plus 40, which is what we asked of our setup. If the market moves 40 ticks, move the stop to plus 30. So here comes the trade. Here's gold. There's our bracket. Interestingly, gold, if you notice, it shot down first. That's why we have a fairly decent sized bracket, right? So you could survive. This was a very calm jobs report. It was a big move, but it was not whippy at all. So it's so fast, it's hard to tell why we didn't get a better profit. But if you look at where we were filled and where we got our target, it just looks like it didn't go far enough in one direction to hit our target. It's really hard to tell. It's so fast. See, it stopped. The stop moved to the right place, but it looks like it may have pulled back before it continued straight up. It was a phenomenal move. We would have done better had we just traded two contracts and risked the $2,000. That would have been a gold $1,000 trade pretty easily with two contracts. But I was trying to be conservative because of the way gold's been behaving. And that is the way it is. The euro was a perfect, beautiful, a big, beautiful move on the euro. Watch. No whip at all. Tiny. Hit the first target. I tried to expand the second target. I just couldn't get it done fast enough. Basically, my fingers failed me. Normally, I'm good at doing that. My fingers didn't work. It pulled back anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. It would not have mattered. It pulled back to my target. So the one thing I did on the euro is I had added an extra contract because of expecting good behavior from the euro trade. Okay. So how did I do? What did I do to try to get more profit? Very simple. I put an extra contract at target 1. Let me restart our video for the rest of the morning. Give me half a second. Hang loose. So a couple of questions. Does anybody have any questions about what happened here? Does everybody understand what happened here? Does everybody understand what we did? We had a breakout trade on gold and it pulled back on us and only protected 6 ticks of profit. That's what it did. Not going to cry about it. That's what happened. But our main trade was the euro in a very nice funded account, and that had a really good profit. The euro with our testing and trading was the recommended setup for this morning, and everybody in the room that traded it looks like everyone made money on it. Okay? I'm not seeing any losses by anyone who's typed in the trade room. That's awesome. All right. Our euro chart is going to become an oil chart. Euro becomes oil. CL 0826. Now we go to our normal morning, right? We're back to the normal morning. Indicators, net change display, oil I put on points. Oil is down another $1.26. Oil 67.30ish. We now have to convert our euro setups into oil setups. Right click the chart, click strategy, highlight the magnet. We're going to turn our 6E into an oil magnet. High of day, low of day, one position, 30 tick stop, everything else default, not making any other changes, labeling it CL magnet, and where am I going to trade oil? In account number 54, Studio 54 account. Oh, the Village People, the lead singer passed away yesterday. Sorry to see it. So our oil magnet is redone. Our oil reverse continue was a euro reverse continue. So we're going to make that one position. 25 target, 25 stop is fine. Relabel it CL reverse continue. And now we're set up to take a trade. Choose the right account. We're ready to take a trade on oil if we want to. Make sure your chart trader is on the right account. Okay? So if I want to take a scalp trade on oil, which I'm not sure yet, let's go to a 30-minute chart on oil. I want to go short on oil this morning. Am I willing to risk it like I did yesterday? First, let's put our magnet on, get our clock out of the way.
Fed's Daily says we should look for better inflation and labour data, but should not move the goalposts.
I think that oil
The yen extends gains versus the dollar,
ultimately
rallying 1.2% to a high
will
of
be a short. I
160.64.
don't want to go long oil. Certainly not in a scalp
Daily says
trade.
we should
I
look to
don't
get better
want to
inflation
trade
data where we can.
too heavily against the trend, right? At the moment, I'm expecting, and I was expecting the same thing yesterday, and I got stopped out. I don't get it right all the time. I would expect this morning that we see another test of the low. The last test of the low was at 7:35 this morning. Okay. Now, it might happen after it opens, or the same thing that happened yesterday happens plenty of times at the open, where you get a total reversal in trend to stop out all the people that are doing what I'm thinking of doing, taking a short before the open, right? So the open, the professional traders fake everybody out, take oil up, stop everyone out, and then start to retest. And that is what happened yesterday. We did get a return to the trend, to the downside, but it took until after the oil report. If you remember, if you were in the room with us after the oil report, we did take a short for a test of the low. That was the low I was expecting to be tested before the oil opened. So I'm not jumping into anything oil this morning. We had an awesome jobs report trade. I may just go normal market opens, not do anything too crazy this morning. So they also revised the May payrolls down. I thought honestly that May was overly high, overly bullish. All right, let me start my video. I never turn the darn video on. All right, so now our middle chart, it was set up for gold. Did gold have a signal short? All right, hang loose. Bear with me because I'm testing an updated version of the software and the programmer has some issues to fix. So fortunately, he's real fast at doing it. So bear with me, but it requires me to send him tons of stuff all the time. It's exhausting. You know, honestly, it's exhausting. All right. With our trending on one candle, there was a good signal, a perfect signal. It remains to be seen how perfect it's going to be. If gold continues back up, it will not be an awesome signal. Looking at the ruler also, you might not have taken the signal until right there. Oh, it's still a pretty good signal, 100 ticks. Gold was a giant move, so it really was. That was a giant move on the jobs report. One more time before we go off of gold. Look at that tick. 601 ticks. Holy gold. That's a big, big move. 601 ticks. That's a human-sized move. All right. So gold, we're going to change that chart to YM like we do in the morning. YM is making new highs. So the question is, why is the market making new highs on the jobs report? Why is the jobs report not being considered so bad? Who wants to weigh in? Why is the jobs report not being considered too bad? Looking at the payrolls, it was 57K versus 113. Unemployment rate was a little bit better. That's good news, supposedly, if you believe that number. That number I do not believe at all. Private payrolls were lousy. Participation was lower. That's not good news. Manufacturing payrolls, they say about what was expected. Average earnings about what expected. I don't believe that number. Anyway, what we want to see on the YM as we modify our gold setups for the YM, we want to see a pullback off the high so we could play a new high at the open possibly. All right. So we're going to modify our YM setups that are on the chart. We had a GC magnet. Right now it's going to be off, no high of day, low of day. Position 1 is -3 ticks. That's default. We're going to do a second position, and the target will be 15 ticks. Above or below the magnet, our stop is 40. Label it YM magnet. YM magnet. And I'll trade my YM in a funded account, number 67. number 67 on the YM funded account. So we will label it YM magnet, apply it, and okay it. Make sure Chart Trader is on the right account, 67. Yesterday I wasn't, and we didn't see our winning trade on the YM. I'm going to modify my YM reverse continue, which is a gold reverse continue. Let's make it a YM reverse continue. And we will do it with one contract with a 50 target, and we'll use a 40 stop. Label it YM reverse continue. And we want to be in number 67 trading account. Choose the
Daily
number
says,
of
"Don't want to
contracts
react
and whether you
quickly
want to
when the
be a
world is changing
multi-position
quickly."
trade or a one
Syrian State
contract,
News Agency
one
reports that at least
position.
4
That's up
people
to
have been
you.
killed in a Damascus explosion.
We support up to 3 positions. All right. For scalping, I like usually one position. Label it YM reverse continue. Choose the account you're trading. Apply it. And that's my YM chart setup. Make sure it's on 67, which we did already. And we could turn it on. So we're just watching
Ed
YM
Daly
right
says, "I'm a
now.
gradualist and I want to take things slowly."
We're pretty far from most levels. 701. We're 200 points away from a VWAP test. So we could get there, but that would be a big pullback. High of day is our probable, depending on how the market absorbs the news, that's going to determine whether or not we have a high of day open trade. Okay. RTY, I'm going to put a quick reverse continue on the chart. Change the breakout to a reverse continue. One contract at the moment, 35 on the stop. $35 on the target. Scroll down, label it RTY reverse continue. And we'll trade that in a funded account number 69. That's a pretty healthy funded account. RTY reverse continue. And I'll put my RTY range trade, market open, put that on there. Load the template. RTY range open. Watching oil, it's going to open in 3.5 minutes. See if we get a change in direction to the short side now. We've had our pop up. Okay? We've had our pop up. RTY range start time 9:25:00. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Check. Show the range graphics on chart. Under optional, uncheck. Show vertical line on entry. All the way back to the top. Trade type must be a range trade. Activate range end 9:30:00. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10. I'm going to go 15 and 30 on my targets today. I'm just thinking, I'm going to go 10. I don't want to make too much money on this account. I have to keep the consistency rules in my thinking. Let me just think for a second. Let me think. I'm going to go normal, 10 and 20 on my targets. Target 1 stop move is break even. And if I get stopped out, I'm going to use my, right now I'm going to use my 25 tick target. So end the range at 9:30:00. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20, stop is 25. Target 1 stop move is BE. RTY range is labeled, and we are trading it. And this will be a trade that is taken in number 69. So our RTY is 69, the range, and I'll also put a magnet on the RTY chart. Remember, these are opportunities. They're not guaranteed trades. Magnet, high of day, low of day is off. We're trading the range trade first. Position 1, stop of 40. I'm going to actually trade 2 contracts on it. 1 position. Stop is 40. I generally do not scalp after the open on this particular fund, these funded accounts. For me, I do scalp on my funded accounts. If I've lost money in the
The
morning,
effective Fed fund rate
I
was
will
unchanged
sometimes
at
scalp a little bit
3.63%
during
for
the
July
day
1st.
to try to get the money back. RTY magnet is labeled, and it's back in number, did we say 69? Yes, 69 on RTY. So that's our magnet. Just watching the magnet for signals. The range will be the actual setup that we're trading.
Microsoft creates a 6,000 worker unit to help clients with AI.
Hang on, folks. All right, so now oil opened, right? Oil did not do a lot on the open, did it? You see that open? You see that open? It did not go down enough to create a viable trade. Did not go down enough. It's not even, it's a 15 tick candle. We would not have been filled. We would not have been filled. Okay. Joe, I don't understand what you're asking. The stream is right there. The stream's right there. If you can't see, exit and come back. Exit and come back. You should be able to see everything. I mean, everybody else, obviously people are here seeing. So Joe, I think you should log out and come back in. Try
I
a
think
different
Tesla
browser
Q2 deliveries
if
at
it's not working.
480,126, which is higher than the estimate of
So
396,400.
now I think oil is a short.
The
I still
production
think
was higher
oil's
than
a
expected
short.
as well,
But
451.758k
you
on
know,
estimates of
we have to get ready for our market
408.142k.
open.
Other
It's
models
not really
production
moving short.
down 36% on the quarter.
Honestly, it hasn't been behaving the way I wanted it to. Had I been interested, I was interested in taking a trade. Um, yeah, Joe, try reloading the room because everything is working. Everything is working. So folks, I'm going to reload a previous version of the magnet because the programmer, very honestly, the signals are so screwed up in this version that I'm testing that, bear with me, I don't want to trade them, and it will take me like 30 seconds to reload. So let me try something. Bear with me. So here's a lesson anyway. I'm going to turn off my magnets for the moment. Now, oil, I am going to change that chart to an MNQ. If you're going to reload a new version of the software, I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to go to Remove NinjaScript Assembly, and I'm going to remove the current magnet. Remove it. Yes. All right. When it's done, it'll tell me successfully removed. Close. Now, let me make sure I can find my previous magnet version. And I have it. All right. So I'm going to load it. Go to Tools, Import NinjaScript add-on. I need a particular version. That's the version I know I need. Okay it. Success. And then you have to reboot your Ninja. Save it. Save it. Reboot. Doesn't take very long. Here come my charts. And here we go. So now I'll check. We're going to go to MNQ on our oil chart. MNQ 0926. Might as well create brand new setups. All right, going to create brand new setups. So let's connect our prop data. And we're ready to go. So I'm going to right click the MNQ, go to News Trader, and I'm going to create my reverse continue. Couple of contracts, 100 tick target, 100 tick stop. Choose the label, MNQ reverse continue. Choose the account I'm trading it in. Let's trade the MNQ in number 67. All right, 67 for the MNQ. Yeah, the one I'm testing, the signals are messed up, Arthur, and I don't want to use it. It's worse than it appeared, so I have to talk to the programmer. It's no big deal. It happens. He made a big change to some things, and he screwed up. It happens. He's extremely reliable, and he's a great, great programmer. Let's trade funded 67 on the MNQ. That's fine. So we have a reverse continue, 100 and 100. Apply it. And then we're going to add our magnet for the MNQ. High of day, low of day. Couple of contracts. Stop 100 today. I'm using big stops today. Everything else is default. Label it MNQ magnet. And I'll choose the account. What do we say? 67 on our MNQs. Apply it. Okay it. And we need our breakout, our pre-market open breakout 925. Let's load the template. Load. I'm going to look for pre. Joe, try a different browser. There's nothing I can do on my end, unfortunately, to make it work. There's nothing I can change. Now, I will turn off the stream and come back. If you can hold on tight, give me a minute. I can turn the charts off and on. That I can try. Pre, I'm looking for on the MNQ pre. Looking for the setup. There it is. I didn't date it today. I don't care. Too much to do. Putting the time at 0, but it's a 9:24:59 trigger. 9:24:59. 30 bracket, 25 target 1, 68 target 2. Break even on our target 1 stop move. And the stop is 75. That is correct. And we're on account number 67. It's a 9:25 trade. We are checking in sim the bracket. So let's put the charts on sim. Let's check the bracket.
Order submit.
See
Order
how that's too
canceled.
tight? So I got to spread the chart. I hate when it's so volatile. So let's check that
Order
bracket.
submitted. Order canceled.
It's manageable.
A statement from the
Right
White House:
click,
the June jobs report shows the
highlight
labor
the
market
breakout,
remains solid.
9:24:59. That's our trigger, and we will put the account on 67. Now, I'll also load my 9:30 breakout because if I'm in a trade, that 9:25 trade for too long, we have the same issue. You can't, I don't want to not be able to trade it. So hang on, everyone. Let me load this one setup. I'll reset the charts. I'll reset the charts. Hang on. Let me just load this template. MNQ new open. MNQ new open is all I'm looking for here. Here it is. We'll rename it. Today's date. Load it. And that's it. I'm not doing anything else with it. It's 9:29:59. 30 on the bracket, 20 and 100 on the targets, 125 on the stop, and it's on the account it's supposed to be on. All right, so our MNQs, now I can tell that I screwed up and I didn't save it. I didn't save my pre-open, so let me reload it. What a pain in the butt. Hang on, folks. Let me try resetting the charts. All right, so everything's going to disappear for a second, all right? All right, did that help anybody? Let me know if that helped anybody, all right? Let me know if that helped anyone. I'm going to load my MNQ pre-open, which I didn't save it because I'm a dope. So let's reload that.
So, National Economic Council
My
Director
mistake,
Hassett,
sorry.
currently speaking on CNBC, says the jobs data is consistent with a strong economy.
So looking for the pre-open. I can never find it. Here it is. Label it today. Load it. 9:24:59. 25 and 68 on the targets, 75 on the stop. Our bracket should be good. All our MNQs are on 67. So let's scroll down. Let's put it on. Pre-MNQ, MNQ magnet, MNQ reverse continue. RTY. Can everyone see now? Can everyone see now? Yes or no? Huh. Nitin, you're saying you're not seeing me either. Even with the with the charts being redone. So Joe's having a problem. I could leave the room, you guys. You'll still all be here. That's the last thing I could try, I suppose. But I don't think it's me. I think there's something else going on. I think there's something else going on. Try a different browser to log in with and see if that doesn't help. Let me leave the room. Let me leave the room. All right, everybody stay here. I'm going to leave and come back. That's the last thing I could try to see if it helps everybody.
National Economic Council's Hassett says there's no reason why growth has to cause inflation.
All right, so you should be able to hear me now, and you should see me. Let me know if that helped anybody. There's not much else I can do on my end because that reloads everything.
NEC's
That
Hassett says,
reloads
I'm
everything.
confident that Walsh will convince
All
the
right.
colleagues of his views.
All right, so let me make sure that my other setups are okay. So I've got my YM, have a YM magnet. I'm just going to make a slight change and save it and re-up it. Just make sure it's working. So our YM, we're going to do in 67 also. The YM magnet should be okay. We have a YM reverse continue. So the YM, and I need to load an even older version. This is really frustrating me. It's very, very frustrating. Hang on, folks. So waiting on that 925 setup. Let me make sure my RTY is looking good. RTY, we have a range trade. RTY, we have a range.
NEC's Hassett says, I'm confident we'll get a great Canada and Mexico trade deal. So this is following the announcement yesterday that the
Our
US would not
range
be
trade
renewing the USMCA trade
ends at
agreement.
9:30.00. Target of 10, target of 20, stop of 25. BE on the break even. BE on the break even. And position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That's ending the range 9:30.00. Start the range 9:25.00. 6 ticks above, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. And then we have a reverse continue as well. One position, 35 target, 35 stop. Labeled RTY, reverse continue. Make sure you choose the right account you want to trade in. And if you're going to put a magnet on the RTY,
NEC's Hasset says the Intel stake
I'm using a
circumstances were
40 on the
unique.
stop, and I'm using everything else default. Choose the number of contracts that you want to trade. I have the magnet trade enabled right now. It's off because I'm
Hasset
going to
says we're
trade the
talking to
range
all AI
trade
companies
first.
on sharing the upside.
So we need to be on a chart 69 for our RTY. Let me think if that's where I want to trade. I think I want to trade my RTY in a different account. So bear with me. RTY, I really want it in 67. So I'm just going to update the setups, the accounts I'm trading. It's a funded account, but I have a nice profit on my 69, and I want to keep that close to where it is. So our RTY, the range is on 67, and the magnet's on 67. Our MNQ, we're sharing that account.
In
That's
10 minutes
fine.
time now at the bottom
And
of the
then our
hour, we get the
YM,
Canadian manufacturing at PMI. The prior read
I'll
was
have to do the
52.9.
YM on 54. So let's update our YM. Just updating the accounts. We're waiting for 925. Waiting for 925. Now look, most people, you're not going to be dealing with this many setups. No normal person would use all these setups, but I'm showing you all the possible setups we use in the morning. No person's going to trade all these setups. Choose one or two and stick with those over and over and over. One or two, stick with them over and over and over. I'm showing you all the setups we do. I can't manage all these setups. Nobody can. So the YM high of day, low of day, and I still need to load a different version. I'm feeling a little bit frustrated this morning. It's too late to do it before the open. We could do it later. Is everybody seeing me now? Is everybody seeing me now? Roz, I'm just using 25 at the moment. I'll probably try and manage that trade. So let me check my setups. My pre-open MNQ is on 67, and my MNQ chart is on
White House
67.
senior economic advisor Hasset now ends
My
their remarks
MNQ
on
magnet
CNBC.
is on 67, and my MNQ reverse continue is on 67, and my RTY is also on 67, and that's okay. That's all right. It's not a lot of I hope it's not too many contracts at one time. Should be okay. YM is on 54. Do I want to let the YM fill us long before the market opens? I'm not dying for that. First thing that's going to happen is we'll get our MNQ 925 entry, right? That'll be the first thing that happens here. All right, 2 minutes for our MNQ 925 pre-open trade. That's a trade just based on pre-open volatility. All right, that's all it is.
Trump posting on Truth Social, actually repeating a post he made yesterday, just reiterating that Micron announced that they're putting $250 million into Trump accounts for the future benefit of children.
All right, 925. We are going to see this move take place. Or the brackets, I should say, will be the first thing that happens. 10 seconds. We'll get our brackets. Hopefully.
Order submitted.
There's our brackets.
Order submitted.
Filled to the upside. Now, there's no guarantee this is going to work.
So in 5 minutes' time now, at the bottom of the hour,
What we
get the
want to
Canadian
see is a
manufacturing
fill
PMI
to
for
the
June.
upside
The prior was
and
52.
hit our first target. That's what we want. Hit the first target. Okay? If it hits the first target, then we'll get out. We'll move our stop automatically to break even. If it gets there. Now, something
Order
happened
filled.
in the news that just made that shoot down. That was crazy. That was crazy. So that's, it happens. That's bad luck. It's micros. It's not going to blow up an account. I could have taken a profit on the first target. I was actually thinking about it, grabbing profit on the first target. So now I have to deal with, that was very quick. So I'm going to drive everybody crazy because I want my signals working properly. So bear with me. I probably shouldn't do this. I should not do this. But I'm going to do it. I should have enough time. All right. I don't have anything turned on for automatic. So I have to reboot and come back. It is what it is. I want these signals to work. All right, here comes the charts. And we should be back to normal right about now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the pre-open MNQ. Now I have my breakout MNQ open. All right, and that should be the same account we're on right now. And we have our MNQ magnet. And we have our MNQ reverse continue. The YM, it would have possibly filled long, right? I did not take that trade. My RTY range is calculating. All right, we'll let that calculate. Account number 67. And we have an RTY reversal and an RTY magnet. And then our YM magnet. I'm not dying to take a long.
1 minute now until we get the Canadian
But
manufacturing PMI and the
it's
market
less
on
than a
open
minute
imbalance. I'll
away.
lead with the
I
Canadian data.
probably would allow the YM to go long now. All right. If the YM wants to go long on the open, I will let it. I will let it. We should get a breakout over here. Here
Order
goes the
submitted.
YM. If it moves up and tests the
Order
high,
filled.
move my stop to safety. If it pulls back, I'm out. If it doesn't pull back, I'm trailing it, expanding. I tried to expand the high,
10 seconds.
trailing it, expand the high. It's pulling back.
Order
All right. Range
order
trade.
filled.
Unfortunately, that was a stop.
53. Markets
Range
on open
trade.
imbalance now. S&P 500
MNQ
buy side 386 million. Nasdaq
hit
100
both
sell side
targets.
30 million. Dow
Range
30
trade,
buy
I
side
probably
72
used
million.
too small of
Mag
a
7
stop
sell
on that.
side 18 million.
Too small of a stop. YM was a very nice winner. Watching the RTY to see if we are going to get movement to the downside. All the markets are down except the RTY. Except the RTY. Now I'm turning off the breakouts. I don't want another breakout. All right, I'm not taking another breakout. So my MNQ breakout is gone. All right. RTY, I'm just watching. Not getting ready to take another trade on that. The YM looks like it's moving down off the high. MNQ, it's in the middle of the levels at the moment. It's in the middle of the levels. So hanging loose, hanging loose. I'm watching the RTY, but I'm not really seeing a direction. Not seeing a direction on that trade. The open volume was pretty strong, and there's no doubt that my stop was too small. Are we going up on the
Order
RTY?
submitted.
I'll put my stop below the range, and let's see if we can get a move up. If it'll push up and break the range, I'll expand my target, move my stop to safety, expand the target to the high of day. Let's see if we could get a test to the high of day here without getting too close in our trailing. Okay.
Order
Oh, it
filled.
pulled back. Too bad. Too bad. So we just made a little bit of money back from the open. The YM has a short signal.
Order submitted.
Take it. That's a risky signal because we're bullish on the day. I'm not sure I want to stay in that trade very long. I don't like that signal, to be honest. Now, you got to be above the high of the day. If you're taking that signal, that's where you have to be. You have to be. You have to be.
So The White House Energy
That's the
Director
rule.
Hassett
It's a
speaking
big
once again now
trade.
says
It's
US
a
jobs
big
are
trade.
still on an upward trajectory. So
It is
again,
a
he
big
has
trade.
just finished speaking
And
just
now
around
the
5-10 minutes
RTY,
ago. So we'll only comment if he says something new.
is it changing direction now? And somebody's talking. Somebody's talking. Now the YM is normal eval. Normal eval. So regardless of what happens, not the end of the world. Normal eval. Keeping an eye on the MNQ, fixing the buttons there. Getting a long signal off the VWAP. I'm not that interested at the moment in taking that. I'm not that crazy about going long. It could work. It could work. It could work.
Order submitted.
Putting my stop below the VWAP. Taking the signal. Let's see if it works. We could expand the signal if we get some movement. Expand the target if we get some movement. I'm not loving, I'm a little bit worried about the market because the price on the YM is now going back, but the NQ is a little bit more bullish than the other instruments. Let's see if we can get our stop to safety. I need a little bit of a push here. Stop to break even, almost break even, break even. I don't want to
Order
lose because
filled.
I'm not loving that signal. I'm not a believer in that signal. YM is selling off, RTY selling off. The NQ, it may go up, but right now we're looking lower rather than higher. YM, trying to get my stop to safety. I'm going to close
Order
that
filled.
and let's just take a breather. Let's take a breather. These markets, they're chopping in both directions. So I want to be careful. All right, I want to be careful. So right now I'm just watching. We had our RTY, unfortunately did not work. The RTY did not work at the open. The YM, put the magnet back on. YM did test our high, did give us a little bit of a scalp, but you could just see the RTY is just chopping in the range. It's in the range, and we're getting chop from the MNQ. We're not really getting a belief in a direction here. So I don't really see a great scalp at the moment. Not seeing a great scalp. Now you understand why I wanted to keep one serious funded account safe with my profits, which we did. If we go to account 69, we maintained our almost $350 funded profits. Now, is the MNQ making this commitment to the high side? I don't know. It's very choppy, David. I agree. It's very choppy. MNQ is starting to look like it's trying to create a trend, but we've got a lot in our favor. We do have a lot in our favor, but the price action is just not doing it. The RTY, is it finally getting ready to give up the ghost, or is it ready to go up? That's what I'm not sure.
Order submitted.
See if we can get a small scalp out of the RTY here. YM moving down a little bit. RTY is Not really showing a lot of motivation yet. Here we go. Stop to safety, expanding the chart so we could manage it better. If we get the
Order filled.
opportunity, all right. Small scalp, we're not getting those strong moves that we like. MNQ, aren't you glad you didn't take a long there? I do think this market seems to be now heading lower. What do you think? Are we going to get a test of the low on the RTY? I usually don't like to scalp the RTY.
Order submitted.
I don't love scalping it. I'd like to see the MNQ continue down. This might be my last trade until natural gas, you all. Waiting on natural gas. So I'll put my stop just a little bit above the entry to the range. MNQ heading down. RTY. I don't want to put my stop all the way above the range. It's just too much risk. A couple of $100 I'm willing to risk, not 400 or 500. Let's see if we get a change in direction here. The YM now is pushing up, so we may get snagged. It may snag us. The RTY may snag us. You've got downward momentum, but you got upward price action. So sometimes you get price action that doesn't agree. And there's not much you can do. It happens. It happens. Nope, it's
Order
going to
filled.
grab us. So probably going to stop my scalping on that account. That's enough. YM, we made money on that account. MNQ, I think these markets are too choppy. I mean, they're down, they're up. Now it's going up. You're really guessing. You do have momentum. You do have momentum. I think part of the issue is we're in the middle of the high and the low, and there's just not the kind of price motivation that we see. So what I'm going to do is wait. Going to wait for natural gas. I think we'll take a short break. Take a short break. Come back for natural gas. That's our last event. These are definitely difficult scalping markets. The YM decided to go right back up to the high. The MNQ, now I'm watching. I'll tell you what I'm interested in doing. We did get a good signal on the RTY. It's too late to take it now, but that was a good solid signal. The MNQ, what I would do on the MNQ to filter the signals better is I would go to the magnet, highlight the magnet, go over to aftershock reversal. Trending bars would be a 2. Trending bars is a 2. Put the magnet back on, and the signals we get will be definitely better. They'll require a bit more of a trend before the signal is written. Now, it is ironic. We did get another test of the high with the YM. Roz, I'd have to look at the open more carefully. I'm not sure right at this second. Now, I've got like I was saying, I have a whole bunch of funded accounts. My two best, 69 is $700 away from a payout. Number 67 is the one I've been trading this morning that I've done some damage to, and that one is still up 1200. So it's not like it's in a bad place, but do you think we're going to get the test of the high on the RTY? It sure looks like it.
Order submitted.
I'll take one more shot and then I'm done. Put my stop below the candle. Let's see if we get the test of the high. Everything's bursting. The YM burst through the high. The MNQ is heading towards the high. I'll give it a final shot. No matter what happens, my two best accounts are preserved. I'm on the verge of 3 more funded accounts, which is driving me insane. Roz, I would probably do a quick playback. I'd probably do a quick playback. So I'll watch this one trade, see if we get to the high with the RTY, and then we'll take a break, come back for natural gas. The YM is still going up a little bit. It's not yet 10 o'clock. It's still early. It's really not late at all. So the RTY is really struggling to push. Struggling to push. So now, still watching that MNQ. Something that I found to be very interesting this week is the best of the best trades this week were actually the economic reports. The quarterly grain report was fantastic. The jobs report was good. We had a winning ISM manufacturing setup. And it's been harder. The opens were tougher this week. And sometimes that happens. You don't always get the same exact things happening every day. It's just the way it goes. Now, what's interesting is we never made a commitment to the pre-open MNQ yet. We've been testing it for about 3 weeks. And it seems to be 50-50. And what Calvin is saying, usually when you have an open house, it's the kiss of death. So I would say that this open house has been a little bit mixed. Not that bad, Calvin. It hasn't been bad. Some of the opens have been tougher this week. It's also a holiday week. And that's trading volume is not as high. A lot of people are going away. So it's not to be unexpected, honestly. Scalping is always a challenge. It's never easy to scalp. See, what are we going to get? Are we going to get our high of the day out of the RTY? Now, let's say you're in a trade and you don't have enough contracts on, and you want to add a contract. Like, let's say I want to be crazy and add a contract right now. I could click buy. It'll add another contract at the current price. But then I would have to update my sell and my sell here. I'd have to update my stop and I'd have to update my target. What would it get me? If it decides
Order
to
filled.
go and test the high, I make more money. If it stops me out, I'll lose more money. So I'll shrink my stop, okay? And now I'll put my stop to safety, pull it back a little bit,
Order filled.
and unfortunately we made about 100 on that. But it gave me a little bit extra profit, but I moved my stop to safety, so it took me out. Stop was moved to safety. Now, do we still think it's going to go back to that high of day, low of day? Right now, the price action is not all that impressive. It's just chopping there. It's just sitting. It's just sitting there. I still think it's going to
Order
test the high.
submitted.
What do you guys think? I think we're going to test the high. Let's see if we could get our final RTY. Scalp to the high. Small stop. All right. Small stop. Not the end of the world stop. And then we'll wait for natural gas. All right. But it is funny. Have we ever had a winning open house? That's hilarious. Yeah, we've had some great ones. We have had some great ones. That's the truth. You have some great ones. Anybody, I think everybody is pretty grown up and knows that every single morning isn't a winner. Every single trade isn't a winner. You know, I'm not done yet. I'm going to trade
10
natural
minutes time now
gas.
at the top of the hour, we see the release of the US factory orders month-over-month for May.
I will
Forecast
trade
-2%
natural
on
gas.
for our 4-spot 8%, with a range of 4-spot 1 to -3-spot 7% expected. Durable goods
I'm
revised,
tempted
forecast
to
-4-spot
ride the
5%, expected to
MNQ
remain unchanged.
to the
And
high.
core durable goods
I
expected to
think
remain
the
unchanged as
MNQ
well
is
at
going to
1-spot
test the
3%.
high here.
Seeing now the VIX hitting over a 2-week
Where would
low,
you put your
last down
stop?
spot 72 points.
It's kind of got to be at the VWAP. It's far. It's a big stop. It's a big stop. The RTY, it just cannot make up its mind. It cannot make up its mind. The MNQ is trying to chug. Right at the PP, it pulled back. RTY, let's go. Give me that test of the high. Let's go. Now I can bring my stop to safety if I want. I can expand my target if I want, right? Right to the high. If
Order
it pulls
filled.
back, it pulls back. We didn't get it. I could do it again. Let's watch the price action. It's going. It looks like it's going. So let's take it with the MNQ. What do you say?
Order submitted.
Let's take it with the MNQ. We won our test to the high. All right.
Order
Anthropic is in
filled.
talks with Samsung for a custom AI chip, according to the information.
Let's see if we could get the MNQ to head up to that high. Now, if we get some movement, I'll move my stop to safety. It should test the high. Is it a guarantee? Nope. There's no guarantees in life.
So the information say that Anthropic has started early stage work on its own AI chip.
Come on, let's go. Give me the test of the high and we'll take a break for natural gas. Do I have 100% faith? We have nice momentum. Volume is mediocre. It's not great. Now we could protect ourselves, just move the stop to break even so we don't lose. It is a funded account. Now if it pulls back, we're out of luck. But if it keeps going, we could slowly trail just a little bit, just a little bit. Bottom of the candle. Let's go. Head on up. Head on up. We could go middle of the candle. Oh, don't do that.
Order filled.
All right, we made about 110 bucks. So slowly but surely, we're scalping away that loss. Slowly but surely. All right? I think it's going to go there. I do think it's going to go there. Let's watch for 2 minutes. Let's watch for 2 minutes. Overall, it was not a terrible morning. We had one account that took some damage. The RTY open didn't work. A whole bunch of scalps. Couple worked. A bunch didn't work. MNQ, I don't even know what happened on the MNQ open. I've got to look at the video. Let's look at the video. Let's do that. And then we'll take a 5-minute break and come back for natural gas. Look at the RTY. It just barely missed testing the high. It didn't get there. It did not get there. YM generating a signal. I like that signal.
Order submitted.
Why do I like that signal? Look at all the new highs the YM made. So the signal has to be above the high. If it makes another new high, then I'm going to get stopped. If it doesn't, then we should get our stop, our target, I mean, if it tests R1. That's my last trade, I swear. Look at the RTY. It's dropping like a stone. We can move our YM to break even, plus a tick, expand the target. Expand the target. Now this darn account is going to be funded. Darn it.
In 5 minutes' time now, at the top of the hour, we get the US factory orders month over month.
It
for the
truly
month
is
of
going to be
May.
funded now.
Forecast minus 2%.
And I don't want
on the
it.
prior full spot 8%.
Someone's
with a
going to
range
have
of
to
full spot
recommend a
1 to
good
minus
trade
3 spot
copier.
7% expected. You also get the revised
I
durable
have
goods
one.
numbers. Forecast minus 4 spot 5%.
All right, folks,
unchanged from the
I'm going to
prior.
expand
Core
this
durable
target.
goods forecast at 1 spot 3%. Unchanged from the prior.
Still, I'm right at the top of the candle. Right at the
Order
top.
filled.
All right. $500 total in that count, 540. That was a good signal. Why did I like that signal? Lots of new highs being made. Signal after like 8 new highs were being made. Even with a bullish day, up 390, you're going to get a little bit of a retrace. Normally, at some point, you're going to get something, right? There's risk, but it's not off the cuff risk. It's just an eval account. I'd rather make some money now I'll trade natural gas as our last trade in that funded account. See if we can recover the whole day. Not a revenge trade. I'll talk about natural gas in 5 minutes. Let's take 5 minutes and then we're going to come back. Let me put this up. All right, back in 5 minutes, folks. I'm leaving everything on. The mic's going to stay on, but you won't hear me because I'm going to walk away for a couple of minutes. YouTube is streaming. I will disappear. I'm keeping everything on, and I'll get everything set right back up in 5 minutes. Be right back.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with US factory orders month over month. Ten seconds. -1 spot 3%, -1 spot 3%, which is higher than forecast, -2%. The prior was revised up to 5 spot 3% from 4 spot 8%. Durable goods revised -4 spot 5% as expected. Core durable goods revised 1 spot 4%,
Everyone
1 spot
should
4%,
now be able
higher
to
than
hear me
forecast,
again.
1 spot 3%.
The webcam should be working on YouTube. Let me just remind everybody on YouTube, let me put the link right after natural gas. We're going to have a short presentation. We're going to go over the week. We're going over the week, and I'm going to make everybody a nice offer to become a member. You know, while I was
And we posted the US factory orders report
in the
today on
bathroom,
the feed for those interested.
we've been in the trade room
Bank of
since
England's man
before
says if
since 8
outturns,
o'clock.
especially in expectations,
At my
are
age, every
unfavourable
now
to
and
the
then,
underlying inflation
you got to
process,
take a leak.
an
It's just
activist
the way it
move
is.
can bring
Excuse
inflation
my
expectations
honesty
and
here.
outcomes towards
And
a
while I
2%
was in the
target.
restroom doing my duty there, I was just thinking, what do I like? Why do we have something great? We give you the tools to do this in a really positive way. Look at that signal. The YM just gave us an awesome signal. Look at the signal the RTY gave off at 940. Look at all the different
And Man
setups
says in
that we
June there was
teach you
more
to do.
upside risks
We're
to
not
inflation
saying
compared to downside risks for
copy
activity.
every little thing I
And
do
says
and
the
you'll be a
trade-off between
winner.
inflation risk
We're
and
saying
activity has led me
learn
to
how to
place more
use
weight on
these
inflation
tools
persistence,
and
shifting
you
my view
can be a
toward a
winner.
longer hold
Learn
and
how
potentially
to
a
get your
need to lean against
psychology
that
right.
risk.
Learn what economic reports are the best. That's what we're trying to teach. There is no magic. We're giving skills and tools to help navigate these markets. That's what I think is great about what we do. Many of our members design their own trades.
Bank of England's
They
man
don't
says
count on
monetary
us for
policy can
everything.
have quick effects.
They make up their own. I was just thinking about that. The MNQ, folks,
We have
looks like
posted
it
the
is
full
going to make
speech by
that
Bank
new
of England's
high.
man on the feed for
I
those
think it's going to
interested.
make it without me. I'm tempted. I am tempted, but I do think it's going without me. Now, I could take the long right now. What do you think?
Order
Bank of
submitted.
I
England's
can't
man says in
resist.
June,
I
cost-oriented
just can't
inflation pressures
resist.
were being
It
offset
just
by
looks like it's going to
domestic-oriented
go.
financial restrictiveness.
It looks like it's going to go. I'm not going to have a very big stop. So if it doesn't go, but if I can get my stop to safety, I'll do it because it is a funded account. I don't want to lose money in this account. Not anymore. We lost some money.
And Man says that fiscal
But if
measures are
it
important
goes,
in getting us back to the
I'm at the
inflation
high.
target.
And now, no matter what, we're not going to lose. If it goes from here,
Order filled.
you filthy little animal.
Bank of England's
All
man
right.
says disaggregated labour signals in
I
some
know it's
sectors
going.
are less weak than the
It's
overall
going.
unemployment rate.
It's going.
Says
Pull
energy
back.
prices,
Pull
margins,
back.
and wages deals
Yeah,
are key
volume did
metrics.
pull back. It's not super high. We're after 10 o'clock. we have to go to natural gas. All right, we got to do what we got to do.
And man says short and
RTY,
long-term
we're done.
expectations remain elevated.
RTY is done. See ya, RTY. See you later, alligator. YM, we're pretty much done with our market open charts. All right, so let's get cracking for natural McCracken. Get rid of our setups. We need natural gas, NG 0826. That's our proper natural gas target, our chart. I am going to trade natural gas on 2 charts. I'll explain why. Let's get the news up. Let's get the news up. And before I was getting ready to tell our internet YouTube streamers that you can come into the trade room for free right now. Watch natural gas as we put the news up, and also enjoy the presentation in the trade room. It's not delayed. All trading is delayed on YouTube. It's not delayed. There's a little bit of latency in the trade room, but not like what you have on YouTube. Totally different. YouTube has much more latency. All right. Now, natural gas. Natural gas, they're expecting an 81 billion build. A build. That's interesting that they're expecting a build. Natural gas, unlike oil, tends to follow the results of the report. It tends to follow the technicals of the report. Okay? So if there's a big drawdown, natural gas should go up. First thing we'll do is let's look at natural gas on a 15-minute chart. It's a choppy mess today, but it's a downward choppy mess. Natural gas is bearish today, but it has recovered a moderate amount from the low. But I'd still say it's bearish. Okay? Back to a 1-minute chart. So we have a DMM, we have a daily trade report for natural gas. First things first, like we always do.
Bank of England's man says going forward, the question
Natural
is whether there
gas
will be
gets a
upside
reverse
surprises in fiscal
continuation
policy.
setup. Click News Trader. Change the breakout to a reverse continue. One contract, $10 a tick. 30 tick target, 30 tick stop. All right? 30 target, 30 tick stop. Do I want to do it with 2 ticks, 2 contracts? I'm taking a real risk today. I'm living dangerously. Label it NG, reverse
According to sources,
continue.
Russia increased their oil exports from Western ports to a record 3
And
million
I
barrels per
believe
day in
we were
June.
on
And
account
Russia
number
plans to load up to 3
67.
million
We'll
barrels
check
per day
that.
via its Western ports in July.
We'll apply it and we'll put our magnet
Cable
on.
hits 1-week volatility. It hits 5.21%,
Our
which is its
magnet,
lowest since January
high of
22nd.
day, low of day. Right now we'll put it on. One position. Standard default target, -3 and 30 on the stop. That's all I have to do for the magnet. Label it NG magnet. And we put it on the same account. Same account. Now I didn't put the login on YouTube. I didn't forget. So let's make sure we're on 67. I believe that's what we were using. Yes. All right. So we have to do our breakout. Let me give you the links. If you want to come into the trade room right now. Yeah, natural gas should be the fuel of the future way more than oil or coal. If you want to live in the past and be a dinosaur, you can open more coal plants. If you really think that wind and solar don't work because when the sun isn't out, it doesn't generate, you're an idiot. That's all you can say is you've never read a book if that's what you think. And those are the idiots that we have to deal with. There's nothing wrong with alternative energy supplies. They're super important. Super important. It doesn't take a lot of smarts to be smart. It just takes reading and having an open mind. It's not that hard to be smart. It's much harder to be an idiot. That's the truth. Much harder to be an idiot. You have to work at being an idiot. All right. Here's our login for today. Everybody on YouTube, come on into the trade room so you're not delayed. Here's the link. All right. Everybody else is in here, right? So our natural gas setup, they're expecting 81 billion. So what does that really mean? 81 billion cubic feet. The way that natural gas responds to the news is 0.82 billion is a big difference. That could make natural gas move pretty well.
Key European nations accept that Hormuz Strait fees are
If you get
inevitable.
71 billion, that could make it move a lot.
So looking into this,
You
then,
just have to
some
know that.
leading
That's
European
something
powers
you
now
just learn by trading the natural gas
accept that
storage
ships
report.
travel Strait of Hormuz will have to
Natural
pay fees to Iran
gas
and Oman,
has
according
had
to
no
people familiar
full
with the matter.
stops
The prospect
in
of
the
some
past
sort of
6
service fee
weeks.
in the aftermath of
It's
the
had a
US's
couple
raid
of
war with
dull
the Islamic Republic
reports,
was described as a
but
given
no
by
full
the two
stop
people
outs.
who asked not
It's
to be
been
identified
really
discussing private
good to
deliberations.
trade. Now, that doesn't mean we won't get stopped today. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But if we look at a couple of older daily market mover reports, natural gas had 7 winning weeks in a row. We never saw that before from natural gas. Oh, I don't know if you're reading the news on Financial Juice. It's called What Happens When You Lose. What happens when you lose? Key European nations accept Hormuz Strait fees are inevitable. There were no fees before 3 months ago. According to those acquainted with the situation, some major European governments recognize that ships passing through the critical strait will have to pay tolls to Iran and Oman. 2 of the participants, who asked not to be identified while discussing private considerations, indicated the possibility of receiving a service fee in the aftermath of the U.S. and Israeli conflict with the Islamic Republic. Indicated the possibility of receiving a service fee. Some Gulf Arab officials privately hold the same opinion they claimed. So, if a full-blown war is going to restart, that might not be true. That's a victory? I don't think so. But again, you have to be an idiot not to see what's right in front of your eyes. It's hard to be an idiot. All right, natural gas storage. We have a breakout. Right-click strategies. Click News Trader. Breakout trade. 10:29:58 is our activation time. 10:29:58. That's when our orders Go on the chart. 1029.58. We have a bracket of 15 ticks. We need a good move out of natural gas to give us a decent profit. The only negative of the recent trades has been, now look, this was May. I brought up some older DMMs. In May, we had 4 out of 6 winners, and the winners were in the 20 ticks of movement. When you look at April, January, and December, natural gas was trading poorly up until April. I'm sorry. Let's get on the wrong chart. Let's get on the right chart. The right DMM, and I stand totally corrected. April, May, 4 out of 6 winners. April, May, 4 out of 6 winners. End of March, beginning April, 4 out of 6 winners. Going into getting closer to where we are now, end of middle May, middle June, 5 out of 6 winners, and you're getting a little bit more movement in the 40s. And then we get to today, we have 4 out of 6 winners, and we're mostly averaging about 30 ticks a move, ballpark. But still, you can look at the DMMs, and natural gas is clearly trading pretty well. Trading well enough to trade it in a funded account. It's trading well. So our breakout, 1029.58 on the setup. Bracket of 15, position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That means you have one target for each position. Target 1 is 10 ticks. Target 2 is 20 ticks. Those are reasonable targets. Our stop is 20 ticks. And if it hits the first target, target 1 stop move, we will move our stop automatically to break even, BE. Then I'll scroll down, label the trade NGBRK, natural gas breakout, and we will test our bracket in SIM. Put the time on 0. The first 2 numbers of the activation get a 0. All right? Make sure your chart account is on SIM. Apply it, okay it. Natural gas is, darn it, it's trading to the high before the news. We're testing our bracket. Something's going on. As Al Cooper would say, there's something going on. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-dum.
Order submitted.
There's our brackets. It's not a good thing that we're entering right at the high. I don't love that.
Order canceled.
I definitely don't love that. I'd like to see natural gas pull back. Highlight the breakout. Show the vertical line on entry. We want that unchecked. Check the breakout one more time.
Order submitted.
I'd like to see natural gas pull down to the VWAP
Order canceled.
before the news. That would be awesome. I don't think it'll happen. I think what we'll see is a push back up. That's much more common price action. So we have our breakout. Put the time 1029.58. 1029.58, bracket of 15, target of 10, target of 20, stop of 20. If we hit our first target, the target 1 stop move feature moves our stop to BE, break even. Label the trade NG breakout. Put the account on the account we're trading. Funded account 67. Make sure our magnet is on that account also. Check the account. 67 and our reverse continue. 67. Okay, everything. Put the chart trader on 67, and we're ready to roll with natural gas. Now, I will also, let's turn on our trades. What we could do is in a different account. Let's remove this magnet, and in a different trading account, we'll put the magnet and the reverse continue on this account. So we can actually scalp in two different accounts. So we'll put our magnet on our prop account, one of the prop accounts. First, we'll do our reverse continue, one contract. We'll do a 30 target and a 30 stop. Label it NG, reverse continue.
In 10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour,
And
see the
we
release of
need
the EIA's weekly
to
natural gas
differentiate
storage change.
between,
The forecast is for a build of
that's
84
going to be number
BCF on the
2,
prior build
reverse
of
continue, and I'll
76
show you what I
BCF.
mean. And we're on account number 54. So that's a reverse continue, apply it. Then we're going to add our magnet, like I said. Our stop is 30. I'm not programming anything else in the magnet. I'm just going to label it NG magnet and put it on account 54. All right, so we're ready to go. We're done. No more screwing around with programming setups. I've had enough programming setups. So we have our breakout will be over here. That's our breakout. I'd love to see price drop down a little bit and we get less gas around than expected. It pushes up to test the high, break the high by a few ticks, and we make target one at least. That's what I would like to see. And then maybe we will take a reverse continue or a magnet on the opposite side chart. I will not stay around past the breakout more than a minute or two, because we want to do our presentation and let everybody go for the holidays. Now, interestingly, the market's open tomorrow morning. I will probably trade the market opens tomorrow morning because I like less volatility on a holiday day. But we're not having trade rooms because it's not the best days to trade, honest. Those are the days most people should really take off. So we've got 7.5 minutes. Looking one more time at the DMM to see what happened over the past couple of weeks on natural gas. Last week it was dull. Let's see if I have the video. I probably do. Bear with me. So let's see if we can find the video for last week, which I have. The week before, which I have. And let's look for 528. Which I have. All right, let's look at the videos. What? Let me find them. Okay, I've got at least 2 of them. So 625 last week looked like this. So here's natural gas, 10:30 in the morning. Here's our trading chart. We were doing something similar, 2 different accounts. There's the breakout. Price shoots down, hits the first target, reverses very quickly. Pretty lousy fill all the way down the candle. It was a
Nordic
very
American
fast
tankers
move.
say that ships are out of the Arabian Gulf.
And there was a big build. Remember what I said? If it's just 1 billion, could make for a decent move. This was 9 billion. More gas around created a big burst down. All right? Let's watch 528. Small spike. Let's see what it did. Last week, I remember, Calvin, you had a really lousy fill. I remember. You got stopped. Sometimes one person could win, another can lose because you get a bad fill. Not everybody gets the exact same fills. Now,
In
this
5 minutes time
video,
now at the bottom of the hour, see the release of the weekly EIA
it's going to
natural
take a
gas
minute
change.
to get to the
Forecast is
trade.
a build of 84 BCF on the
All
prior
right.
build of 76 BCF.
I hope everybody enjoyed themselves this week. We had nice turnout. So we're just waiting. We have to wait a minute for the video to get to 10:30. I can't speed it up. It won't allow me. All the tools that I use are not always the perfect tools. I'm not a perfect person. I'm close, but I'm not. Very close, actually. But I don't have all the tools. It's
Nasdaq
hard to know
100
what all the
erases gains
best
to turn
tools are for
negative.
everything. I need a good video playback that lets me speed up and slow down the playback. If anybody has a great recommendation, I don't know of a program that would be great for that. That's what I need. Here's our breakout a month ago. See how it chopped up? It did not follow through initially. We call that a nick fill. If that pulls all the way back and stops us out, that we call a nick fill. Now, it didn't stop out. It pulled back, stayed in the trade, and then it goes up, and it looks like it's going to hit the first target. Sometimes you just got to be patient and let it do. There it goes. It hits the first target, and our stop automatically moved to safety to break even. That's called the target one stop move, right? That's the target one stop move. It moves the stop to break even if you hit the first target. You could move it to break even -5. You could move it 5 ticks before break even. You could move it 3 ticks above break even. That's programmable by you. It's very easy also. So now you could see natural gas kept going up, and we were able to trail a little bit. Eventually, it'll change direction,
So noting
take
the
us out.
S&P 500 quickly pairing some gains here.
Bingo. It turns back
They're
around,
now
and we're
up
out.
0.35%.
Now, let's get our clock back in shape. We have our magnet here, and we have our reverse continue here. We can also take a reverse continue here after the breakout. Okay? After this trade, like I said, gonna stick around 20 more minutes. I'll do a quick presentation. We'll go over the week. I'll make you all an offer that you can't refuse.
Tesla shares extend declines. Last hour 5, spot 6%.
Who's gonna trade tomorrow's open? Who's a lunatic? Who's a lunatic and you're gonna trade tomorrow's open and not take the day off? Now, natural gas, you could put the magnet on if you wanted
1 minute
to.
remaining for the
I
EIA
think
natural gas
it's a
change.
little bit too close to these orders.
Top
You
NATO
want at
military
least
commander
10
to sources
ticks.
says European allies have largely filled gaps left by US reductions to NATO force
Roz.
model.
Well, Roz, it's not a holiday for you, so why not? Like I said, I like the lower volume market open. I do like it. So let's see if we get a nice breakout here. We're in perfect location, enough distance from the high and the low to get a good move in either direction based on the news.
10 seconds.
So we could get a perfect setup.
Order submitted. Order filled.
A build of 87 BCF, a build of
Whoa,
87 BCF, higher than the expected build of
there's a
84
big
BCF.
build. I'm trying to get my stop to safety, but part of the problem is it's very close to the low. It pulled back to the low,
Order
so
filled.
it took us out with a small profit. We got 100 out of that. We did get 100 out of that. All right? We got 100 out of it. Not quite. Not quite. 68, 53, 63. No, we only got
And we have posted the weekly EIA natural gas storage
5
reports on the
ticks. No,
feed
I
for
think we
those
got 5
interested.
ticks twice. 5 ticks twice. So, look, there was a build. It was 6 billion more. It did shoot down, but it tested the low on the drop. It tested the low on the drop. And now it's reversing, but look at the tight range natural gas is in. High, low. It's a pretty darn tight range. So I don't think I'm going to take another scalp. We tried to get all our money back on the natural gas trade, and we didn't quite get it all back. We got about $50 back. It would have been beautiful to finish the day in every count positive, but look at every account. $500 in the eval, and thank God it's not funded yet. Is natural gas going to go lower? Based on the news? Are you willing to take a short with your stop above the VWAP? No, I'm done. And then we made in our funded account 343, and that account is getting to a payout area. It's getting real close. 650 bucks. That's not that much. And then I have another account that I didn't trade today because it's at payout, but they're telling me I didn't have enough trading days. So I've got to talk to them and find out what I need to do. I am tempted to take this filthy short, but it already tested the low, friends, right? It already tested the low.
Order submitted.
Where would I put my stop? Pretty small stop. I'm not willing to risk very much. I would take 5 more ticks out of this. Give me 5 more ticks. Whatever it does, it does. There's a build of 6 billion. Okay, 6 billion more than expected. 6 billion more than expected. I'm not sure we're going to get the behavior we want. There's no guarantee. It's got the momentum. We don't have the volume. All right? We don't have the volume. That's against us. Now I would put my stop just above the candle. If it breaks that candle, I'll let it take me out. Not the end of the world. Oh, you animal. You animal. I'd like to be out of here and start the presentation in 3 minutes. So give me 5 ticks. I'll get out of here in 3 minutes. I'm not going anywhere. We'll just start in a minute. So, like I said, I hope everybody enjoyed this open house, this financial freedom trading week, whatever the heck we called it. 3 days prop account trading. Certain lessons that are very important. You know, what are the key lessons? Don't blow up your important accounts. Do your risk trading in accounts that if you do some damage, you're not going to cry all day for the rest of the day. If you are going to be a prop account trader, you have to have a couple of accounts, right? If you have just one, then you can only trade one way, totally low risk, because you don't want to blow up just that one account. If you have a couple of accounts, a few of your accounts will be higher risk, a couple accounts will be super high quality, and you can bounce back and forth between the best of the best events to trade, and you can still take some scalps and take some risk without it ruining your life and without feeling like a loser, right? If you have just one account, I think it makes it too difficult to be a prop trader. That's what I think. If you're a cash trader, the rules are totally different. You have to trade only the absolute best of the best. Certainly you could do your scalping. Certainly you could do the opens. The RTY Open is a phenomenally great setup. The MNQ Open is very good. It hits target one almost every day. There are plenty of setups for cash traders that are very good. But in this day and age, with the low cost of buying a couple of prop accounts and seeing that some companies will really pay, why not at least have a couple of prop accounts so that you can try to get some money without losing your own? I think it's a great way to trade. Come on, give me the 5 miserable little ticks and we'll get out of here. Can't get it. Let me, I'm going to leave our stream on YouTube so everybody in the world, the millions and millions of people that are watching our streams, can enjoy our wrap up. So let's look at what happened this week. Let's start. Here we go. Let's
Order
go.
filled.
Bingo. All right. Not a bad way to finish the week. We only wound up 99 bucks on the downside. Probably spent about $10,000 in fees for all the contracts we traded today. But that's still not terrible. All right. Let me start a new video. Why was I willing to do it? What did I say about natural gas? It follows the technicals of the report. 87 billion compared to 81 expected. That's more gas around than they thought. It went down, tested the low, failed at the VWAP, and it started testing the low again. It definitely seemed worth the shot. All right, that's why I did it. Does that make me brilliant? Not really. That's not that complicated, right? Is that super complicated? I don't think so. It's not that bad. You look at trend, you look at news, you do a quick analysis, and you make a decision. It's not that big of a deal. And if you lose, forgive yourself and move on to the next the next trade. That's the key. Don't fall apart if you have a loser. That's the key. Don't fall apart. Forgive the losers. All right, let me save this video. So think about that natural gas trade. We actually made $190 on that natural gas trade, 100 on the breakout, and we made more than 90 on that last scalp. We made 170, 120 on the scalp just then, and I think on the breakout we made 50. So I think we made a total of 170 on natural gas. That's what I think. Okay. Pretty sure that's what we got. All right, everybody, new video. Let's get cracking. I'm tired. I'm sure everybody's tired. It's a long day. I love the morning trades. This to me, this is fun. This is not a job. This is a lot of fun. All right. Let me just set these slides up, put the video on. And believe me, I'm not going to bore you to death, I promise. Just a little bit. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus and our 10-minute trades pro membership review session of our financial freedom 3-day prop trading. I don't even know what we called this anymore. I lost track, but we had a great 3 days in the room. 10-minute trades prop trading freedom week. Thanks everybody for joining with us at the 10-minute trades prop trading freedom week. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. Please remember, everything we discuss is for educational purposes. Just so you know, we trade appointment-based trading on a schedule. We use the NinjaTrader platform and we trade futures. Our software installs into the NinjaTrader platform. Everything we did this week was geared towards trading in a prop account, but we do still update a lot of our conversation for members that are trading cash. But we live in a world today where most traders are now trading prop. What is a prop account? You're renting the platform, you're renting the data so that you have a very low monthly fee to have a trading platform that you could trade futures in. And then you can add any mentor, any trading system you want to add to your prop account, and that's what we want you to do with 10-minute trades. We want you to add us as a system that you're going to trade your prop account trading under. For 3 days, you've spent time in our trade room, and you've watched our systems make money. And you've seen us lose some money too. Not every trade is a winner. That's the reality of trading, but we give you the tools to design your own trades above and beyond the trades we recommend. And there are tons of opportunities in these markets. We have excellent trading tools that we've designed for 2026. Our trade template. You can make your charts look exactly like ours in less than a minute. You can trade reversals. You could trade signals with us. Breakout spikes and range trades. Many of our setups regularly are profitable. Our system has the weekly schedule, the daily trade reports, our trade room access, and our software. Those are our main tools. Trade strategies, software strategies, trade room access, weekly schedule, daily trade reports. You spent 3 days with us. You've seen a ton of reports, setups that we're going to use on specific economic events. Great software controls your risk, allows for the safest setups available. Trading the best performing events is what you want to do. That's an example of a weekly schedule. The second column, the room opens, that's when our trade room is open and when we'll be in it. The event we're going to trade and instruments we're considering. Our daily trade report has some info on previous movement of that event. The yellow line is our actual setup. There might be 2 setups or 3 on one report. And then most important, coming into the trade room, discussing the market volatility of the day in case there's a change to the DMM setup. You must be aware of the daily volatility. Appointment-based trading is a simple time-based pre-planned approach to the market. You can set up your trades a week in advance, even longer if you want to. But we normally trade where the whole week is mapped out. We know when we're going to be in the trade room. We know pretty much when we're going to be done. And we know around what news we're going to trade. We find all of our events on the free calendars. We find our earnings trades on earningswhispers.com. We have 4 news calendars that we look at all the time: financialjuice.com, trading economics, forexfactory.com, investing.com. These websites give us the events that we are testing and then deciding which ones to trade. Forexfactory.com, you just click the word calendar, you get a full week of setups. And you have to then test the ones, and we've tested them. We can help you and tell you which ones we think we should trade. 3 main categories: high impact economic reports, earnings reports, and market opens and closes. Those are the types of events we're looking to trade. And within those categories, there are hundreds of setups, literally hundreds that we've tested. And we're always looking for new ones, and we're always looking for the best ones. So look, didn't you love what we did in this trade room for free for 3 days? We showed you everything that we do. So think about what it would be like if you were a paying member. After a couple of weeks, it's not going to seem like there's a million setups being put on the chart. No, you're going to understand the muscle memory. You're going to put whatever you think are the right setups. You're going to pick and choose from the best of the setups that we present, and you're going to find the good ones to help you to make money. Let's look at what happened on this morning's open. We did not evaluate this morning's open. So let's take a quick look. Let's review this morning's open. Hopefully I have the right video. So let's see what took place. So if my memory serves me well, we did not take an oil trade, right? Did we take an oil trade this morning? Let's take a look. So 9 o'clock oil opens. All right, the oil market opens. We have an oil chart. We also had a gold chart. All right, because we had a jobs report this morning. The first thing that we did this morning, we actually got here at 8 o'clock and we traded an economic event, the jobs report. We recommended that most traders trade the euro. That was our favorite setup for today's jobs report. Gold had a huge risk because it needs a very large stop. The euro, we were trading in a funded account on the left. Our orders went on the chart and the euro burst up. It hit both our targets and we had a very profitable funded account trade on the euro. Notice also gold. For us, gold had a small profit. Part of my problem was I only traded one contract. Probably would have made more money trading micro gold this morning. That's a lesson to consider next jobs report. No matter how you shake it though, our setups both worked and both were profitable. Then we stayed in the room and we started looking at the market open. And that's what we do. If there's a news report in the morning, we'll usually stay in the room. Maybe we'll take a 10-minute break and then we'll come back and we trade the open over and over the same way all the time. So after a couple of days in the room watching us put setups on the charts, it becomes second nature. We put different setups on each chart. RTY on the right. Usually we have oil on the left before 9 a.m., YM in the middle. Now this morning we were watching gold a little bit, but oil was on the left. Oil was negative on the day, but just not much opportunity. If there's no opportunity, then we don't take a trade. There was no oil opportunity. We then went over to the MNQ and we had a 925 open trade and we got stopped on that trade. Almost took a profit. Watch, I was tempted to take the profit, but it is a setup that normally we just leave it alone and it does what it does. I mean, most of the setups, you leave them alone and let them do what they do, because that's what the testing teaches you to do. So our trade was 9:25 in the morning. It started immediately working in our favor. Took a minute. Then it worked in our favor. Almost got to target one. I was thinking about moving my target in because usually it's faster, and it didn't get to target one. Then it did a quick reversal, strange reversal, and it did stop us out. Not a huge loss, but it did stop us out. It missed our target by 2 ticks. So that didn't work. It happens. We had a range trade on the RTY on the right, and we were looking for magnets on the YM, tests of highs and lows of the day. The YM at the open, you'll see it's going to test the high before the open. And the YM was a nice, profitable winning trade. So our YM magnet made a couple of $100, if I remember, or $150. We can watch it, or you could believe me, and we'll just keep going. The YM made some money. We turned the magnet on. When you turn it purple, that puts the magnet software in auto mode, so that the heavy order line, if the price fills there, goes through it, it fills us. The YM went right up, hit the first target for a profit, moved our stop to safety, expanded the target, looking to trail for more money. There we go, expand the target, and we trailed a bit, and we got to make a little bit of money, $250. The RTY at the open, unfortunately, stopped us. Now, I did use a very small stop on the RTY. I think if I had used a bigger stop, it could have worked out better for us, okay? But every morning is not a winner. That account was not our #1 top account, but it was a funded account, and that's the account that wound up almost profitable by the end of the day with natural gas. The MNQ immediately hit both our targets at the open, and it was a winner. Here's the open, and there it was hitting both targets. So the MNQ open worked, YM magnet worked, RTY did not work. Did we do some scalping after that? We did scalp some YM. And scalping, scalping is up to you. We made a couple of bucks on that scalp, not a big scalp. And then RTY, we did some damage this morning, and then slowly scalped our way back to it, okay? Back to profit, using scalping and economic events to get there. But that was this morning. And then we finished up. I'll finish. The last thing I'll do is I'll show natural gas. That'll be the last thing I do. Yesterday, just looking at our schedule to go over what happened yesterday. Yesterday we had the ADP report. We did our normal market opens. We had ISM manufacturing and crude. All right. Now I keep a track record so that if I forget what happens, I keep track of what happened. So, because I don't even remember what happened on yesterday's ADP report. We've traded 30 times since then. Oh, we made our first target. We made 15 ticks on ADP. We made 150. And then I lost money scalping oil. All right. We made money on the YM Magnet Open, the RTY Open. It hit the first target. ISM manufacturing was a stop. All right. So it was a mixed morning. A mixed morning. ADP was a winner. YM Open was a winner. RTY Open was a target one winner. ISM manufacturing did not win. ISM, not been a great trade to take. And we told everybody that. We know that. It's not one of the best of the best. We avoid when they're not the best of the best. But I test everything because we want to see what's working. So you can't always go by what happens to me. You got to go by what happens to you. Okay? That's the most important thing. How are you doing? The day before yesterday, we started out with the market opens, the usual routine on our market opens. We scalped oil for $180 profit. The pre-market MNQ was a winner. The MNQ 930 open was a loser. The YM open was a small winner. And the RTY was a target one winner. And it didn't protect the profit. Sometimes that happens. However, consumer confidence was a nice breakout, $100 winner, and quarterly grains was a huge winner that made money on every account above and beyond any loser that you would have had during the day. $700 funded, $350 and $430 funded. We made $1,100 funded
4.1% on the session.
on the quarterly grain report. Overall, this week was a positive week. We had some losers. That's the nature of trading. We had some crappy scalps also. But the main trades that we all take together, if you look at what happened, the bulk of our trading was profitable. And that's being honest, with no making things up. That's how the week went. I never said I was the world's greatest scalper that ever lived. But every day that you practice, every day you take a new trade is a day that you're a better trader. We recommend that you record your trades, that you study your trades, and eventually you'll become a better scalper by doing it. Some of the members in our trade room are regularly saving a bad trade, a bad economic report. They're fixing it with scalping after the news. Because the idea is, after the report is done trading, you can now take a reversal trade using our signals, using the reverse continuation setup. That's what you want to do in the trade room, and we help you to do it. That's the key. Looking at our best trade of the week, the quarterly grain report. Let's take a look at that because it's always fun to look at a great trade. If you only traded a couple of economic reports and a couple of market opens, it's possible to have an awesome, unbelievable week. Don't overtrade. That's one of the things we all do. We all are guilty at times of overtrading. So don't trade more than you should. And that's very, very important. Where the heck is my quarterly grain video? So give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. So we had a setup on quarterly grains, 3 possible instruments that you could trade. We traded soybeans on the left, wheat in the middle, which was something new. We had done some testing, and wheat looked great to trade for quarterly grains. Quarterly grains is a family money trade. That means I would trade my family's money on that event, and we recommended everyone should trade it. It's a family money trade, and it's been trading and performing well. Corn is not allowed with quite a few prop companies, so we just simmed corn. Wheat in the middle, soybeans on the left. Wheat had the safest move of them all. Soybeans had an early fill that wheat did not have. Corn did not have it either. There was an early fill on soy. Fortunately, it was in the right direction. The news comes out. Big burst to the upside. Wheat
So the US are to sell
hits target 1, bursts
$92 billion
through target
in 3-month
2,
bills on July 6th, settling
over
on July 9th, selling $79 billion in
$400
6-month bills
on
the same
corn
dates
and
as
sim.
well. We're also
We
selling
were
$39 billion
Wheat
in
was a
reopened 10-year
400
notes July
plus
8th,
trade.
settling on July
Soybeans
15th.
was a
They're selling
$500
$58
plus
billion in
trade.
3-year notes July
The reason
7th,
soy
settling
was
July
more,
15th, and $52 billion
there was an
in
extra
52-week
account
bills July
traded
7th,
on soy
settling
as
July
well.
9th. They're also selling
But
$22
a
billion
great,
in
great
reopened 30-year
profitable
bonds
winner,
on July 9th
quarterly
to settle
grains.
on July 15th.
Every single person in the trade room that traded it with us made money. And then this morning, we had a bunch of winners, a bunch of scalps that lost, a mixed morning, and when we got to the end of the day today, we made almost all of it back with natural gas. We decided, let's take the natural gas trade in the funded account that took a hit, because natural gas is a family money trade. That's how well it's been trading for months and months and months. It follows the news results so that after the news is out, you can scalp with natural gas. 10:30, we got filled. Let me make sure I've got the right video. Let's get the right trade. Sorry, give me a second. Here we go. Natural gas. Oh, I know what happened. That was the right video. We were showing some replays. So natural gas came down to the very end, July 2nd. We had 2 different accounts set up. Funded on the left, eval on the right. Funded, we were down almost 300 on the day. Natural gas, our orders go on the chart. There was a build. There was much more gas around than expected. It hit our first target for $100 immediate profit. And then we were trying to get our stop to safety into profit. We waited, kept the stop out of the way, almost got tagged. Then it reversed, $100 profit on the breakout. It reversed, went up a little bit. Looking at the news result, looking at the price action, we took a short for a test of the low. Right there. We adjusted our targets for a test of the low, and we had to be patient. Took about 4 or 5 minutes. We got about halfway, which is all I was looking for. There we go. Bingo. We finished the day profitable in every account except one. We were down 99 bucks. Overall, still a very decent day and a very decent week. Nothing wrong with the week that we had. Once again, the goal is for us to teach you and give you the tools so you can make money with us. You can join us now for all of our upcoming news and earnings and magnet trade rooms. Everything we trade in the future, we want to invite you to trade with us going forward. All these bonuses will be included. You get our Magnet Masterclass video, our Magnet Challenge videos, extra education on trading magnets. Magnets, one of the most important things we do. Lots of opportunity, signals, magnets. Quick Start class, all the trade room access, all of our reports and software strategies will teach you the way we trade earnings. Pro Membership 2.0, we have a special offer for the holiday. Everything included, everything. All of our software, News Trader version 11, all the breakout spikes, reversal, range trades, market opens, market closes. We trade market closes. If we don't have a trade room, there's no reason why that once we teach you how to trade the market close, you can't take this trade. Look at what I did the other day, yesterday, trading the market close. We didn't have a trade room, but I trade this setup that we teach to everyone the same way. And I was down a little bit in that account yesterday. It was a funded account. End of the day, we put a trade on at 15.50, 10 minutes before the market closes. The market moves dramatically every day, 10 minutes before the market closes. Is it always a winner? No. Is it often a good move? Yes. And we have a setup that captures that move. 375 winner. That was a 1-second trade. We have a setup that we teach you. You could do it with micros. You could do it with full size NQ. That's included in our membership. All of these setups, we teach you how to do them. We show you how to save your own template. It's very easy to have these setups with you. We don't have to always be in the room to have winning trades. We'll teach you all about the appointment-based trading method. Choose the events you can trade based on your schedule. Just make sure you trade the best of the best, right? Also, we're going to trade signals. We had many winning signal trades. We had a couple today. We love our signals, and every week I'm expanding and improving the signals. Eventually, the signals will be an automated system. You'll just get a signal, it'll put you in a trade, and that'll be that. You won't even do anything. That's the goal of our signals. So we have a phenomenal offer for everybody. One of the things that everybody complains about, our offer is a subscription, right? So it renews. And it's always hard to cancel. Well, for us, listen, it's easy to cancel. All you have to do, send an email, help@10minutetrades.com. Just send the email before your billing. So the only thing you have to keep track of is when did you become a member? Just mark it down, get it right. And if you want to quit, send us an email a couple of days before your billing and we'll turn it off and we'll part friends. And you know what? You'll probably come back because people come back all the time. There's just something addictive about trading the news, market moving events, the opens, the closes. People love doing it. Email us, help@10minutetrades.com. Any questions, any problems, we're very responsive. I'll guide you and teach you how to enter the setups into the software every day in the trade room. You saw us do it all week long. It's easy. We trade the same way over and over and over and over. Eventually, it just becomes automatic. You save your templates. You don't even have to do all that much. Everything included that we have in our system, our News Trader software with all the strategies, the magnet strategy, the trap trade strategy, reverse continuations, the breakout strategy, the range trades, everything's included. Our daily market mover, trade reports. When there's an event that gets a daily market mover, we send that to you the day before the event. So you can study it, practice a trade or two if you want to, and be ready the day before. And of course, trade room, trade room, trade room. Spend time in the trade room talking to other members, sharing setups. We have extra trades that members are trading that they love sharing, and many of them are winning setups. Trap trade, magnet software, everything included. Signals are generated in our magnet software. And like I said, signals will only get better and better and better. Trade in a prop account. We love Bullinox. They've been great. They've been really great.
So Al
Hey,
Jazeera
Larry,
citing Israeli army
can you
says
send me
Givati
an
Brigade has
email?
concluded
I'd
its
love to
combat
talk to
missions
you
in
and love
southern
to do
Lebanon.
that. Anytime that you want to do it, send me an email. I'll get back to you today. We love Bullinox. I have a link for everybody. Let me give you our Bullinox link. They have a sale going on all the time. The idea with prop trading is wait for Bullinox or whatever company you want to use. Members are using Lucid, they're using Bullinox, they're using Tradeify. Some people use Apex. You know, we're not big Apex fans. They have a little bit too much in the way of rules. They don't like bracket trades. But you want to use a prop company that lets you trade the way that we trade. Got to be able to do breakouts, okay? So in the email that I send after this room, there will be a link to Bullinox with their sale code. Any questions? We like them. We've gotten paid from them. Our members have been paid from them. They're a great company. And like I said, Tradeify, Lucid, there's plenty of companies to trade. So we have a fantastic opportunity for the holiday, everybody. Everything included, 3 months, $247. I mean, one trade can easily pay for 3 months. It's so easy. It does renew. And like I said, if you want to cancel, just send us an email. Let me put the link. Let me put the link in the trade room. We would love very much for you to join us. If you join, and we'll have a trade room Monday, you will be set up to have a trade room Monday. 3 months, 90 days, folks. $247. That's silly, right? One trade easily can make that. And once again, I'll guide you, I'll teach you in all the trade rooms how to do it. Everything that we offer is included. Nothing is held back. Everything. All our software, all the signals, all the strategies, all the education, bonus videos, quick start videos, it's all included. Our members love us. Members make money. Roz from Kenya, she's making money. Sometimes she screws up, but she's always making it back. Members are making money, profits on their trades. Again, we are teaching the methods that allow you to make money. And we have a lot of great setups. We care about our members. If you need help at 10minutetrades.com. Check out our YouTube channel. Let me give you all a link to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is fantastic. There's so much stuff on our YouTube channel. This is going to be on our YouTube channel. So let me throw up the link. There's so many webinars for free up on the YouTube channel. So you can just watch a couple of webinars, learn all the ins and outs of the way we're trading. In addition, of course, to everything we do in the trade room. We will answer all your questions. If you have them, I won't leave you stuck not knowing what to do. So July 4th is a holiday in the US. Pro membership, $247 for 3 months, expires Sunday at midnight. This deal goes back up to $300. We'll take all the risk, everybody. We have a 3-month guarantee. We'll bend over backwards to help you. That's number one. We'll do anything to help you. In the trade room, if you need us to show you how to install the software, we'll do that. It's no problem. And then we have a money-back action guarantee. It's an action guarantee. It just means spend the 3 months with us, take 3 trades a week in the trade room over the next 3 months. And if you're not happy taking 3 trades a week over the next 3 months, show us your journal and we'll give you a full refund. But the key is spend the time, take some trades, see if it works for you. Most people, if they put the energy in and learn, they stay and make money for a long time. So we will guarantee if you put the effort in, keep a journal of your trades for 3 months. If it doesn't work, send us the journal with proof that you did it. We'll give you a refund. You know how often I've given people a refund? Maybe 5 in all the years that I've been here. Where do you get Ninja Trader? So number one, you can open a prop account, www.bullenox.com. You rent the Ninja Trader platform, or you can open a cash account, ninjatrader.com. All right. We do not trade options and stocks. This is futures. All right. If you need help, finally, help at 10minutetrades.com. How do you get coaching and support? In the trade room every day, every morning, right? We're there every morning by other members in the trade room, and you can email us, help at 10minutetrades.com. What if you have trouble installing the software? We'll
The Fed
show
bids
you
for
how to
forward
do it.
fills total
We have
$3.2 billion.
videos that show you how to do it. We'll show you in the trade room if you still can't do it. All right? If you need help after you install it, that's why we include the trade room with your subscription. 3 months of the trade room with 3 months of software, 3 months of everything. So go pro, everybody. $247 for 3 months. It's a fair price. We are the fairest of the fair. You know, we could charge $500 for what we offer, but we are very reasonable. And we want you to make money. We want you to learn how to do this, and you'll have a skill. Trade the news, trade earnings for the rest of your life, trade the market opens, and learn how to design your own trades. That's the fun of doing this. So everybody, I want to thank you so much for being with us, for sticking around. And if you have any questions, I'll see you all in the trade room. And once again, I want to thank you for joining us for the 3 days this week. And I think you've seen how excellent our system is, and you can join with us. $247 for 3 months. I'll put the link in the email that I send. And thanks, everyone. Hope you have an awesome holiday. And I'll see you all next week. Take care, everyone. Any questions before I go? I don't see anybody, so thanks again. And I'll see you all next week.
Wall Street Journal reports that the US dangles a reward for opening the Strait of Hormuz, but Iran isn't budging. So again, the US and Oman are looking for ways to break Iran's insistence on charging tolls for ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. The chief lever in indirect talks was a promise to unfreeze some of the $100 billion in Iranian funds held overseas. But the Wall Street Journal note that so far, Tehran isn't taking the bait. They say its military leaders are responding with a fresh round of threats against ships passing through one of the world's most trafficked waterways. We have posted the Wall Street Journal article on the feed for those interested.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pro Trade